Well, and welcome back to some more Steins Gate Zero. Last time we got the ending that was Maho's ending. And I believe it was the Twin Automata one, right? Yep, Twin Automata. It sucks because I was going at a constant rate going this way and then... Ugh. So there's 3 more endings to get. I said 7 on Twitter. It's 6. Okay, so there's 2 more endings that we need to get, one of them being the ending before the true ending. Last time being approximately 100 minutes ago. You don't need to tell him that. I am a different person than I was that day. I have a beanie now! But, so... what I want to do... the way I've been saving these has been a bit weird, but as of lately I've been doing the ones before the choices, and the last choice was this one that I locked, called the Orbital Eclipse, where I get the phone call from Amadeus, and when I didn't answer, my shit shows nothing. And when I didn't answer, the world line changed, so I want to know if I do answer it, what happens? I think that's where we're going to start off today. So that's the only other call I can think of that changes things, right? Anyways, without further ado, let's get into some more Steins Gate Zero. Wait. This is not the right one, I don't think. Oh, okay. Wait, this is what we're supposed to be. I was about to put my phone back in my pocket, it rang again. First I thought it was Mom might gonna tell me something, but when I saw the screen I gasped. This changes things, boys. Here we go. No, not the crying face! No! What are you doing? Hello? Help me. Help me, Okabe! In that instant, I suddenly felt incredibly dizzy and everything went black. No! We went into the beta world line. Sorry, no, we're in the beta. We went to the alpha world line. I'm scared. I felt like I was floating up from the bottom of a black pit. My mind slowly began to clear. Where am I? I looked around the room. There was no way I could mistake it. The future gadget lab. Place I had been just a moment ago. There was nothing unusual about it, except for the fact that everyone was missing. They'd been there just a moment ago, but now they were all gone. Well, I got the clock. It had been just about 3 p.m. I'd finished my call with Maho. Only a few minutes had passed. If I'd passed out, it was impossible to imagine all of them leaving me here, which meant... Wait. Took a slow walk around the room. There were other strange things. On this PC, for example, there was a thin layer of dust on the keyboard. Oh god. If no one had used it for a while. In the corner of the room. Normally that was where Mayuri put her bags. Paper bags where she always put the cosplay outfit she was working on. I'd see them there just a moment ago, but now they were gone. Could this be? The world line changed again. How much, though? Why? Come to think of it. Kurisu's words from before. Why would Kurisu say something like that? Did it have something to do with the world line shift? I phone out of my pocket and went to start the Amadeus app and then stopped. It's gone. The Amadeus icon was gone from my phone. What's going on here? My mind raced to try and come up with an explanation. Plus I came up with nothing. Calm down. Let's find out what's going on here. Need to calmly find out what this world was like. About to walk towards the door to find out when... Back of the room. I had a sound from the back of the development room which no one ever used anymore. Someone was there. Who? Daru? Mayuri? I think I know who. Fully approached. I almost couldn't breathe. I never forgot. I'd never forgotten her. The girl standing there was Kurisu Makise. Antinomic duel. Lisa Makise was looking down at something. This is impossible. Lisa couldn't be here because she was dead. Was I seeing things? My desire to see her making me hallucinate? It seemed far too realistic to be a hallucination. So it felt like if I spoke a word, she'd disappear. Couldn't say a thing. What was she staring at without even moving a muscle? It was so still that I thought she must be a hallucination after all, but then... I examined her and slowly turned around. Oh my god, it's her old sprite look! But now with the white jacket on it. Also, the coloring on her tie is a bit weird, isn't it? Looks like the red's bleeding out a bit. My throat was dry and I couldn't speak. Standing there, you should have said something! You scared me! Happy New Year's! Anyway, it's not often I see you come by anymore. It's really you, isn't it? What kind of way to start off a new year is that? Okay, did you eat something bad? Even a slightly peeved expression. What? And the gentle flash you sometimes saw in her eyes. And this... What's wrong? Are you really okay? Even her warmth. It was an hallucination. An artificial intelligence on the screen. It was the real Kurisu Makise. The real live Kurisu Makise. And this for the first time. My cheeks were wet. Got her soft hands on my back.
心配しないで。もう平気だから。
クリス。
大丈夫よ。大丈夫だから。
Whispered to me in a soft voice and patted me on the back. And wrapped her arms around me. A kind mother holding a child.
すまなかった。
I'm sorry. Finally calmed myself down. He was still there. He still existed. Now that I calmed down, I realized what that meant.
気にしないで。
No, don't worry about it.
無理もないわよ。
It happens to me too
私だ
sometimes.
って時々あるもの。
そういうこと。
That?
思い出したんでしょ
Yep.
マユリの
You're thinking about Mayuri, weren't you? That's right, Kirisi was here. Which meant this was the Alpha World line. The world without Mayuri. The world where Mayuri died. Some small part of me had wished that this was the world beyond Steins Gate. There was a new future which someone else had opened for me. Of course, that was too good to be true. There was no way for me to know what had happened. I must have made my choice. Give up on Mayuri. It was the future where she was gone. Confronted once more with the reality of Mayuri's death, my heart felt like it was about to burst. Had she died?
Okabe?
Did they push her in front of a train? Did they shoot her? Oh. Calm down. Tiny hand wrapped around mine. Okay, come on. Deep breaths. Little by little, my racing heart began to calm down. Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. No, it's not that. It's not. Are you going to take something? I'll bring you some water. I rummaged through my pocket and found a small box of pills. The same anxiety medication I'd already been taking. But in this world, I was still on the same drugs. That's a way to put it. Around the room while Kadisa got me some tap water from the tap. What? You've been here for a long time, you know? Even Hashida stopped coming. Why are you here? That's what I want to know. Daughter too? Yeah. It was awfully clean then. Close look and saw that there were a few places like Daughter's PC that were covered in dust, but the rest seemed to have been regularly cleaned. You. Risu. You've been coming here? Sometimes. You'd be sad otherwise. Didn't have to ask who they were. Mayuri loved this place. She loved the Future Gadget Lab. She loved the time that she spent with all the lab members here. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? Because... Waited but no answer ever came. What was she apologizing for? Talking about Mayuri? Making me remember? Or... making me choose? What? Oh, nothing. Okay. If I said something, she'd answer me right away. I could reach out and touch her. That alone brought me to the verge of tears. I just stayed here like this. What was I thinking? Given up on everything and left her to die. I was happy to be back here in this world line with Kurisu. I was sad over losing my Eddie. Part of me was thinking I wanted to stay here, even though I didn't have the right. If there was a god in this world, he must be a cool, twisted being. Why was he doing this to me again? Was what I'd done that wrong? I already made my choice once. There was no way to save the world. There was no way to save Kurisu. But... Kurisu in front of me. I was already starting to waver. Did I go back to the beta world line? Did I send the email? The D-mail.
そういえば
Hey,
電話レンジ
what happened to the phone wave? What?
と
You destroyed it.
あん
Did you
たが
forget?
破棄させたんでしょ？
Yeah,
ああ
that's right.
そうだったな。
Phone wave no longer existed, it seemed. Of course it didn't. Its mere existence had made us a target of CERN. Without it, I couldn't leave this world line on my own. But even if I did stay here on this world line, it wouldn't be my responsibility. It wasn't my fault, and it wasn't something I'd wanted. Meant.
ねえ岡部、悪いんだけど
Hi,
何か飲む
did
も
you
の
go
買
get
っ
me
てきて
something
く
to
れない？
drink?
飲むもの
Something to drink.
ちょっと喉乾いちゃった
Listen, you
の
know,
ね。
something warm if you could.
温かいものがいいわ。
インスタントのコーヒ
You
ー
can make instant coffee if you want. Isn't that what Casey had always made me do? You keep the sugar, no milk.
コーヒ
Not a
ー冷や
coffee.
しちゃってるのよ。
わかった。
Yeah, I should go. Want to get outside and think things through.
ミルクと砂糖の
Something
入った
sweet.
甘いや
With
つね。
milk and sugar.
ミルクは入れ
But
ない
you
んじゃ
didn't
な
put
か
milk
った
in your coffee.
寒い日には
On cold days, I always want something sweet and creamy. Roger.
了解だ。
Well, I didn't expect to immediately be hit with fears at the beginning of this episode. Stood up and headed for the door, but turned around halfway.
何？
What?
いや、
No. Like if I took my eyes off her, she'd disappear, but that was far too embarrassing to say.
岡部。しっかりね。
Hang in there.
子供じゃないんだ。
I'm not a kid.
お使いぐら
I
い。
can run a simple errand.
そうね。
Yeah, you're right.
いってらっしゃ
Did
い。
you say sorry? Bye.
そうね。
My body relaxed the second I stepped outside of the lab. Evidently meeting the living Kadisu had made me really tense. Closed. Didn't know how to talk to her or what to say anymore. Even though I'd spoken to Kadisu like he was the most normal thing in the world. Still couldn't believe it though. Is this really the Alpha world line? No, if Kadisu was here, it had to be. Then why? Who had caused the world line change and how? That call from Kurisu. Is that what triggered it somehow? No, I should stop thinking about it. Someone else had caused it somehow. I shouldn't get involved anymore. I didn't want to. I didn't want to overthrow the structure of the world anymore. I wanted to live in peace. In a universe with no world lines or attractor fields. World line convergence zone. This is the standard acceptance model for quantum physics 2036. The many worlds interpretation of the Copenhagen. I got it. Wait. Major splits in the world line at the attractor field levels are called world line trunks. One pre-2010 example of the world line trunk is the year 2000. Sorry, I'm just thinking about Dragon Ball Z and the fact that the time traveler in that series was named Trunks. Stop letting the whims of fate rule my life. Nothing left that I could do. Suddenly, something seemed very wrong. These words a moment ago, what had they meant?
岡部。しっかりね。
Hang in there. Couldn't mean to. And I rush back to the lab.
クリスクリス
You.
お前
That.
それ
Too bad.
だわね。
I guess you found me.
使っちゃったか。
It was just where I'd seen her the first time, standing and looking towards the back of the development room. Depths of the darkness. In the spot that just a moment ago had been covered by a cloth, I saw an old microwave with its door taken off. Phone wave, name subject to change. Here's gadget number 8. The gadget that had changed my fate, no, the fate of the world.
どうして
No. Didn't I destroy it?
ええ。
Yes,
破棄した
you did. This is a new one I made. You could call it the Phone Wave Custom. It wasn't the real name a little longer. Maybe it should be the Phone Wave Name Subject to Change Custom. Doesn't matter. You even made it? Why? Send a message to the past. Going to send a message and change the word line. No. Maybe it would be better to say fix rather than change. I actually finished this over a month ago. And since then, I've just been standing here, wondering whether or not I should send a message. I certainly didn't expect you to come see me, though. What are you? Tell me, Okabe. You just came from another word line, didn't you? It was probably the beta word line. Am I wrong? You tell? You'd never do something like that otherwise. Something like what? Well, the way you hug me, you know. It was also wonderful. The way her cheeks reddened in embarrassment as she looked away. The way she pursed her lips. The way she fiddled with the ends of her hair. Everything was just so wonderful. I realized it again. I was in love with her. What's more, someone else caused the world line change. You didn't do it voluntarily. Am I right? You know everything then? Do you realize how much time I've spent watching you? No, it's not like that. I didn't mean like watching you. Well, I mean, I do mean it in that sense, but... Anyway. A deep breath and looked up at me again. Came from the beta word line. And you chose that word once before, doesn't it? It was so far beyond what I could hope to be. In those brief moments she discovered all that. It was right about everything. Even so. 14 drinks? I didn't let her beat no. Admitting that would mean admitting that I'd left her to die. There's no way I could do that. I'm sorry. Yeah, and that was all I said. That was an admission, all the same. Instead of looking sad, she... Don't apologize, Baka. It was your choice, right? Have confidence in it. Tried to cheer me up. Right. At least it was right. I was the one who chose the beta word line. But... You know, I don't think you were wrong. Just got here, so you wouldn't know. But for the last several months, you've done nothing but blame yourself. I thought you'd ever let me see it. Well, it was the same. Same as what I'd gone through. Same as the beta word line. There was nothing I could do. Because your pain was because of me. You suffered so much to let me live. That ends today. It has to. Because if it doesn't, the god is gonna keep eating at you. In the end, it will crush you. It's the same. What do you mean? In the end, no matter which choice I make, I regret it. Not being able to save you. Not being able to save my Yuri. Doesn't matter whether I'm in the Alpha word line or the Beta word line. Or maybe I should just stay here. Get a hold of yourself, Rintaro Okabe! Snap out of it! This isn't like you! You're my heroine I love is always more confident. You're my heroine, huh? Was a name I hadn't heard in a long time. You made the right choice. You chose to save my Yuri, and you weren't wrong. But I let you... Listen, what you're seeing right now is... it's a dream. That's all.
夢
そう。
That's right.
夢の中で
You had a dream where you met me. That's all.
それだけのこと。
Well, doesn't that make you feel a little better?
少しは気も楽でしょ。
Lisa said a little and laughed.
これだけ脳の研究
We learned so much about how the brain works,
夢を見
but we
る
still don't understand the mechanisms by which we dream.
実はまだ明確にはなっていないのよね。眠っている間に
The brain organizes and processes memories during sleep. One theory says that dreams are a result of that process.
っていう説もあるけど。要するに
In other words,
ここはベータ
this is
世
a
界
dream
線の
world being
あんたが
experienced by you in the beta world
夢の
line.
中の世界
You can get your head together,
あん
you
たの
know?
頭の中を整理するためにね。そしてこれが
And
夢
if
な
it's a
ら
dream,
い
you
つ
have
か
to
は
wake up
目覚
someday.
まなきゃならない。
Am I wrong?
そうでしょ。
でもこれは
But this isn't a dream. You're right.
こうして
I reached out and touched her cheek.
現にこうし
You're
て
right here. Aren't you?
お前は
感触だって
Touch sensations are just another of the brain's
感じさせている機
functions.
能の一つよ。
I took a quick step back. The sensation of her cheek disappeared from my fingers.
だいたいここ
You
に
won't
い
be
てもあんた
happy
は
here
幸せ
anyway.
にはなれない。
You'll never be rid of the
後悔
regret.
の念を拭うことはできないの。そして
And neither will I.
それは私も同じ。
ベータ世界線でも変わらない
Doesn't change in the beta world line either.
俺はずっと
I've done nothing but regret that I couldn't save
お
you.
前を助けられなかったことを
だけど
But Mayuri's happy at
少な
least,
くとも
isn't she?
マユリは幸せでいられるでしょ。
Mayuri
マ
is.
ユリは
He doesn't know anything. Because that's what I wanted. Wanted her to know nothing and be happy. Now that wish was still coming true, but
あんたは
you want Mayuri to be happy.
私も同じ。
So do I.
同じ
I'm
な
the
の。
same way.
ということは
Which means that you made the right choice
やっぱ
after
りあんたの
all.
選択は間違ってはなかったってことよ。
I finally met her again, but he was here, alive, right in front of me, but
もう
come on! Walked up to me without even trying to hide her frustration.
いい加減にしなさい。
Stop the nonsense already, you Tawakabe!
一度出した結
You
論
already
にしな
reached your conclusion.
あんたはここ
You
に
can't
帰
stay
らない
here.
の。
You have to go
帰らな
back.
きゃいけない。夢から
You have to wake up from the
目が覚め
dream.
ないのよ。だっても
Because I
う、もう
don't want to see you suffer like this
そうや
anymore.
って苦しむあんたを見ていたくないから。
クリス
さ
Come on,
あ、これ以
It's
上
a waste of
時間の
time.
無駄よ。
I'm doing it.
私はやるから。
Turn away from me. Feel the strength of her will. Her resolve. I remembered what I'd seen just after I'd come to this world line. Lisa had been just standing there in front of the phone wave. Thinking back, she probably already made her decision. Without anyone knowing. Without anyone to say goodbye to. Chosen to go to a world where she would no longer exist. It had probably taken her a long time, and a lot of struggle to come to that decision. Probably asked herself 1,000 times if it was really the right answer. This was what she'd chosen after all that. I didn't have the right to stop her. It would be wrong.
ねえ、岡部。
Okabe,
夢から覚
when
め
you
る
wake
前
up,
に
promise me something.
約束
ベータ世界線
When
に
you get to the beta world line,
私のことは忘れ
forget
なさい
about me. It was just the opposite of what she'd said that day. That day, the day when I chose the beta world line, she said to me, "Don't forget me." Now she was asking for the opposite.
忘れるなんて
Get you. No, I can't do that.
できるわけないだろ
It was always like that. She always cared more about others than herself. She always sacrificed herself. She was asking me this for my sake only. She didn't want to be forgotten. She hated being forgotten more than anyone else could.
言ったでしょ。
Remember what I said?
これは夢
This is a dream.
夢は
Once you wake up from a dream,
起きたら忘
you
れ
forget what
ない
happened, right? I was stubborn and bullheaded. I would never be able to forget her. But
子供の頃に見た悪夢は
I remember the nightmares I had when I was a little kid.
誰が悪
What are
夢
you calling a nightmare? All I could do to keep from breaking down. That was probably the same for her.
とにかく
Anyway,
私のこと
Forget
を
about
忘
me.
れることは
forget about what happened today
今日あったこと
and
も
everything that came
こ
before.
れまであったこともそれが私の
What I want.
望みだから
And around stuck out her pinky finger. Crossed it around mine.
指切り
The pinky promise.
嘘つ
Lie and I'll stab an electrode in your hippocampus.
電極
Got it?
ぶっ刺す 指切った。
Is that a saying in Japan? The way she said it
随分と転がる
doesn't rhyme at all.
ほっとけ。
Shut up. My hand moved away from mine. The gaze looked away from me. It was almost time to say goodbye. It was sending a message to the past. I knew it was the right thing to do. I knew this was what you wanted. Still,
クリス
our voices overlapped. What is
どう
it?
した
あんたこそ
You first.
なんでもない
Nothing.
ただ
Just wanted to say it out
見た
loud.
だけだ
Name of the person I cared for.
偶然ね。
What a coincidence.
私
So did I.
同じ。
Name of the person I loved.
ね
Hey,
え。あんたは
you remember when we first met?
忘れられる
What's
わ
I
けが
do?
ない
You made a hell of a first
何し
impression.
ろ強烈だったからな
それを言うなら
So did you?
ほんと
Really,
あの時
I never
は
thought things would end up like this.
こんな風になるなんてまさか
Never thought that encounter would lead
あ
to
んな出会いで
meeting someone so important to me. I thought I'd say it now.
まったくだな
That's right. I didn't say it, but
でも
just so you know, you're only allowed to remember our meeting right now.
覚えてていいのは今のうちだからな。
Even for a little.
世界線が戻っ
Once
た
the
ら
world line goes back,
忘れなきゃいけないん
I
だ
have to
からな。
forget. Just for a second.
分かってるよ
No. For an instant.
うん
Oomph. You're going to forget me.
忘れられるんだ。
Just like that. If it would last just a little longer.
お前が言い出した
This was your idea. A voice.
そうだけど
That's true, but it still pisses me off to hear you just say it like it was nothing.
それはそれでムカつく。
The way she moved.
忘れろと言った
First you
り
want me to forget, then you want me to
忘
not
れるなと
forget.
言ったり
Which is it?
一体どっちなんだ
A smile. It's a joke.
冗談。
I'm just kidding.
嘘よ。嘘。
なんだ
Oh,
嘘なの
it's a
か
joke?
そう。
Yeah,
嘘。
just a joke. A little longer so that I could remember it all. But I was out of time.
岡部。
うん
それじゃあ。
Bye. Those words were the sign that the magic was over.
あ
Yeah. There were a million things I wanted to say, but I stopped myself. Lisa smiled, satisfied, and turned back towards the phone wave. Probably already had the message ready. The voice started to boom and crackle like thunder. The long, long countdown. All the time, Kadisi faced away from me. I just watched. The noise got louder. The countdown continued. And then it was time.
岡部。いい、目覚めよ。
Time to wake up. Lisa turned around with a big smile on her face. Her voice was cut off by the roar. And then I woke up from my short dream. Color gradually returned to my blacked out vision. The lab started to come back into focus. Immediately, the world line had changed. I could see Khaleesi when I closed my eyes. It wasn't in the development room anymore. It was like the whole thing had been a daydream. It felt like I'd been caught in the boundary between dreaming and wakefulness. I was back to the world without Khaleesi and the Alpha world line. No point in even bothering to check. A moment ago, only Khaleesi and I had been in this room. Now everyone was here.
おかわり。どうしたの？
What's wrong?
具合
Are you sick?
いや
No,
大丈夫
I'm fine. Yuri,
お薬飲み
want
ます
some
か？
medicine?
平気だよ
I'm fine.
心配ない
No need to worry. Ukako. And
本当に？
really?
無理しちゃダメ
You
だよ。
shouldn't push yourself. Kagari Shina. When you and Kagari were here, that meant it was back to the Beta world line.
ちょっと
I'm
腹
just a
が
little hungry. I haven't eaten
朝
anything
から
all
何
day.
も食べてなくてな
もう
Come on, Okarine. You need to eat, or you won't get big like Uncle Daru.
じさんみたいに大きくなれないよ。
ああ、なるくら
I'd
い。
rather skip a meal than end up like
一緒に
him.
いた方がマシだよ。
Huh?
だったらマユシーが何か作ってあげるよ。
Maybe she would make something then.
ママが作れるの？
Did she send the email that made it so Mayuri knows everything?
もうかがりちゃんまでそういうこと言うんだから。
Kagari, not you too.
これでもね、
Yuki's been teaching me
最近
things
は
lately.
ユキさんにお料理教えても。あ、じゃあ
Okay then.
僕が手伝う
I'll
から。
help too.
待ってくれ。
あ、
Sorry, should I not help?
僕
Oh, Lukako knows too!
ですか？
いや、そうじゃない。
No, that's not
そう
it.
じゃないんだ。
That's not it at all. I looked around at everyone and then back at Kagari.
かがりさん。
Miss Sheena.
やだな、
Kagari. I said you could just call me Kagari.
かがりでいいって言ってるのに。
Something was different.
じゃあ、
Hey, Kagari. Can I ask what you were calling Mayuri?
まゆりのことをなんて呼んでたか聞いてもいい？
なんて
I called her
言って
Mommy.
ママ
Why?
どうして？
どうしてもない。
Why? Because she's my mommy.
ママだもん。
Right, Mommy?
ママ。
It's kind of embarrassing to hear that.
ちょっと照れちゃうな。
I felt vaguely dizzy watching Mayuri fidget in embarrassment.
知ってるのか？
The two of you know that you're mother and daughter in the
未来の
future?
世界で親子だってことを。
Huh? You're the one who told me about her.
オカリンが教えてくれたんだよ。
俺が？
I did? That's right.
本当の
You said it would be better to know the truth, right?
ね
Did I really tell them? Did I tell them something so important?
じゃあ、もしか
And
して
does Lukako also?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
僕、
I didn't mean to listen in, but I heard it anyway.
耳に入ってし
Lukako
まう。
lowered his head in an apology.
あ、でも、
Oh, don't worry. I haven't told anyone.
他の人には言ってもいいし、僕、
Being able to share in
ちょっ
everyone's
とだけ
secrets kind of made
嬉
me
しかったんです
happy.
本当は
I've been happier if you told me
直接教えて
directly,
もらえれば
but
よかったんですけど、
when Lukako knew about Mayuri and Kagari, meant that of course.
でも
Yeah,
驚きました。
I was really surprised.
タイムマシン
I thought the time machine was only fiction. Had no idea you could make it real.
って思ってたんですけど、実現できるなんて。
Knew about the time machine. Evidently, I hadn't simply come straight back from the Alpha World Line. I was in a world line slightly different from the one I'd been in before. The Virgis meter I'd used before was gone now. That meant I didn't have a precise number. This all felt very different. The problem was finding out what was the same as the old world line and what was different.
かがり、
Kagari,
もう少し
can I ask some more
質問
questions?
させてほしい。
何？
What is it? I showered Kagari with questions in an effort to find out what was going on. It was what I learned. Thus, Kagari retained her memories of her childhood. In other words, of the year 2036. He knew Mayuri, daughter Suzuha, and also Ferris and Lukako. As for what the world of 2036 was like, how she'd become Mayuri's daughter, he hadn't told them the details about that. Fortunately, they hadn't seemed interested in knowing about their futures. Everyone always thinks they want to know about what the future holds. When the chance finally comes, fear outweighs your curiosity. It wasn't always a happy thing. When the future might destroy your dreams. It might be a death sentence like it was for me. People would lose all sense of meaning in their lives if they knew there was inevitability going to be a war in which 5 billion people died.
それじゃあ、ここに来たのは、
It was definitely you staying at Lukako's that brought you here, right?
うん。
Yep.
っていうか、
And it was you who brought me and Mom together,
ママと引き合
Okanin.
わせてくれたんだよ。
Don't you remember?
覚えてないの？
いや、
Right.
そういうわ
I
け
just
じゃ
thought
ない
I'd double check, you know?
一応確かめておこうと思ってな。
一応ね。
Double check, huh?
変なオカリンさ
Acting
ん。
weird, Okarin. Eddie going missing had happened almost exactly as I remembered it. Same was true of how she came to us. And I
行方不明になっていた間は
don't remember anything about what you were doing while you were
全
missing.
然覚えていないのか。
うん。
Nope,
綺麗さっぱり。
nothing.
気づい
The
た
best thing
ら
I can remember is lying on a bed in a temple. So that's the same, but she actually remembers her childhood. They're missing some of her memories, too. In other words, in this woodline, the only memory she had were of the childhood the last few weeks since she'd woken up in the Chiba Mountains. The most important part was still missing. Anything else I needed to ask? Staring at the floor, trying to think when I realized something was missing.
床が綺麗だ。
Floor is clean.
あ、さっき岡部さんが来る
I
前
cleaned
に
it before you
掃
came.
除しておきました。
いや、そうじゃな
No,
くて。
that's not it.
床に小さ
Wasn't
な
there a little hole in the
はずな
floor?
んだが。
床に
A hole in the floor.
ですか？
The lab had been attacked just last night. During the attack, one of the bullets had left a dark hole in the floor.
穴なんてあ
That
る
hole there?
か
I
な？
don't think so.
なんか
ちなみに、
By the way,
お前たち昨日は
how was yesterday?
どうだ。
昨日のパーティー
Party?
のこと？
It was a lot of fun.
楽しかったよ。あんなに楽しか
I
った
had so much fun in my
の
life.
初めてだった。
I wouldn't say that if there had been an attack. It meant that the attack had never taken place. No one at the Kagari in this ward? No, it's too early to assume that. I didn't know what had happened when she'd gone missing. Though I did, I couldn't say for sure. She was safe. Just like how sometimes Mayuri's death would occur on different days in the Alpha War line, the same thing might happen a few days later. In fact, it would be better to be cautious.
またみんなで
Hope we can all have another party again soon.
その時は
Me too.
僕も
I'll
何
make
か作るよ。
something.
私も
Me too.
私も手
I'll
伝う。
help. They all started happily talking about last night's party. At first glance, it was a peaceful scene. Something sinister might be happening, and I just didn't know it. No, I knew something had to be happening. The fact that the world line was changing was proof. How had it changed anyway? Thought back to the events of that night. First, someone had taken over Amadeus. Lisa had called me and asked for help. The world line had changed right after I'd answered. It meant that the key was Amadeus? Amadeus has something to do with the world line change? What about the group who attacked Kakari? Was it all connected? Maybe I need to find out.
ところ
Hey,
で
Kakari. Are you okay on
大
time?
丈夫？あ、いけない。
Oh no, break time's over.
終わってた。
Yona's going to get mad at
店
me.
長に怒られちゃう。
店長
Yona,
ということは
you have a job?
バイトしてるのか。
Wait, are we back in the world line where they're working there and he's protecting him?
そうだよ。
That's right.
下のブラウン
Working in the
管工
Bron workshop downstairs.
この
Wait, I already told you this. Told me it.
そう
I
だったか。
see. The old world line Kagari had started working for Noji after the attack. That was another difference.
もう今日の
You're just so out of it today, Okarin. Get a hold of yourself.
すまない。
Bye. Kagari hopped up and skipped out of the room. Words and mannerisms were much more childish than they'd been in the last world line. A card, Kay! Okay, bye.
かがり、戻る
Kagari,
前に
let me ask one other thing before you
もう
go.
一つだけ聞かせてくれ。
Ask one final question to Kagari, who was now giving a crisp salute.
アマデウス、
Does the word Amadeus mean anything to you?
何か思い当たることは。
アマテウス？
They seem to think for a moment.
ね
Nope, nothing.
ごめん、わかんないや。
そうか。
I see. It looked like she was lying or being sarcastic. She must really not know. I watched her leave the lab and took out my phone. There was another thing I needed to check. What was happening with Amadeus? Yep. I looked for the icon on my screen. Amadeus? The eye that held Kurisa Makise's personality and memories. And the application which started the program. The program was gone.
悪かったな。こんなところに呼び出して。
Sorry to call you out here.
別に構わない
That's fine. I just happened to be nearby. Seeing the icon missing on my phone, I contacted Maho immediately. My goal, of course, was to see what was going on with Amadeus in this world. I had to find out. What do you want to talk about? About Amadeus. Was that suddenly went wide? The reaction surprised me as well. Said the word Amadeus. How do you know? What do you mean? How do you know about Amadeus? That program was put on hold last summer after Kurisa's death. Amadeus was put on hold? You mean the project itself was shut down? Yeah, that's right. Future gadget. Noopa! There's very dark Goopas in the back. Are those the only two ones? Sense of fist and anger. Even the change in this world line was a big one. Now, answer my question. How did you know about Amadeus? Because... Did I tell about the world lines and the attractor field theory? Gracie told me that someone in the lab was doing work on it. Gracie told you about that? Said that it wasn't the time to tell her. I tried to explain everything I'd have to tell her about Dima and the time machine. I didn't seem to know about all that yet. Imagine what she'd do if she heard the truth. She was yet another of those people who were entranced by the possibilities of science. Can you tell me a little more about how the project was shut down? What was the reason? Evidently, there was a complaint from an outside group. Creating an artificial intelligence with human memories is no different than making a copy of a human, you say. It's something that only God is allowed to do. A lot of people in Europe and America like to push their own values on others, especially in delicate manners like these. That the only reason? Yep, at least as far as I've heard. Professor and the rest of the team were really mad when they heard the research was being shut down. Well, this program was stopped. Okabe, there's something I want you to tell me. Didn't you ask your dad? Okay with asking me? Yes, I think you can give me good advice. Weren't you expecting too much? What kind of gift do you think a father would enjoy? Father, huh? I think with the darkness within him goes very deep. Not the darkness? Oh, you know, darkness, black handkerchief? Maybe that would be a good idea. Yeah, maybe. Handkerchief. Great, I'll do that. But why black? Your dad probably likes black. For real? Thank you. Thank you, Okabe. Your hearing Kiyomo was showing for a second there. Mintaro. That has something to do with the warline change too? Wait. How did I meet Maho? We originally met at the Amadeus seminar. That never happened. What's wrong? Well, I was just remembering how we met. Oh yeah, that was quite the coincidence, wasn't it? Asked a few more questions, taking care not to rouse her suspicion, and managed to learn the basic story. I had really wanted to see the place where Kurisu had died. She finally went to the radio building. She'd run into me. I can say this because it sounds so unscientific. I like to think that it was karma, and that Kurisu brought the two of us together. Karma, perhaps another example of attractive field convergence. It had already been decided that Maho and I would meet here in Akihabara. Was there some meaning in that? Right. Tell Mayuri and the others I said hi. That last night was a lot of fun. Sure. Evidently, she'd gone to last night's party in this woodline too.
おかげで日
Giving
本
me
と
some
いい
good
思い
memories
出
of
ができた
Japan.
わ。
思い出
Good memories. You leaving?
帰るのか？
すぐにじゃないけど
Not immediately. Remember what I said? I'm taking over Khaleesi's research.
クリスがやっていた研究を引き継いでるの。いつまでも日
Can't stay
本
on
で
vacation in
気分
Japan
を堪能
forever.
してるわけにもいかないのよ。
そうか。
I see. Still, she was only in Japan for another 10 days. Hope nothing would happen during that time. Amadeus had been shut down and no longer existed. No longer would I hear Khaleesi's voice. If I said goodbye to Marho, that meant really started to sink in. Instead, I feel Khaleesi's warmth in my chest. The smell. All the feelings I tried to forget were coming back now that I'd seen her. No one will ever be happy in that world line. Everyone will be miserable. So she said. I knew that. Why I decided to stay here. That didn't mean I could erase the sense of loss I felt. I went back to the lot to get all of this together in my head. Cause of the attack in the last world line was Kagadi. There was a good chance that Amadeus was involved in the world line change that took place after. And in this world line, the lab had never been attacked. The Amadeus project had been cancelled while it was still in the research stage. That meant that two major factors in the events that had occurred so far had no longer existed. They were gone, maybe there was no need to worry too much. But even so, 15 drinks. There was still a tiny alarm going off in the back of my mind. Had Amadeus been shut down? What happened to Gagadi's missing memories? Anything else, I might need to learn the answers to those two questions. I for a while then took out my phone and booted up the Vine application. Gagadi's point of view. Ukiko's room. Or what I could assume is his room for the time being. Kagadishina felt happy and more fulfilled than the people around her thought she was. Memories were missing. All she had now were memories of when she was young, gone to the past when she was 10 and then gotten separated from Suzuha. Memories afterwards were a total blank, with the exception of the last few weeks. The oldest memories after her childhood were of the ceiling she saw when she woke up. The feeling of an old temple with stains here and there that looked like faces. But she remembered being a little scared. Shortly after that, she was given to Yanabayashi's shrine. Would you like some tea? Hey. Thanks, Luca. Okay, I put some on. That was when she'd met Luca Urishibara. At the time, she hadn't realized that she already knew him. Luca Urishibara was a good friend of her adopted mother, Mayurishina. He'd played with her a lot when they were kids. When she was younger, she'd always thought he was a woman. To Kagadi's young eyes, he'd been a strong, grown-up woman. At the time, I always wondered why Suzuha had called him Big Brother Luca. Here you are. Thank you. But the Luca in front of her now was far younger than the one she had known. He looked like a very pretty girl. But he's a guy. Not nearly as strong. But she'd only realized that he was the Luca Urishibara she knew after meeting her mother. He tastes a little different. Rosemary tea. Supposed to help you concentrate and improve your memory. I had Ferris give me some. Improving your memory and finding lost memories seemed like totally different things to her, but she didn't say so. Just the thought made her very happy. Like, Luca, Mama, Yuri, and the rest of Okabe's friends were all trying to help her get memories back. It would probably make most people nervous not having their memories. It'd be hard not knowing what you'd experience. To be honest, Kagadi didn't think she needed to remember. Sometimes, it seemed like a memory was about to come back. Each time her mind would war with a sense of fear and anxiety. Was it not very good? Luca saw that he'd only taken a sip and stopped, and he seemed worried. Oh no, that's not true. It's good. I was just thinking. Thinking? Yep, but it's nothing. A sip of the tea, hoping to change the subject.
それにしてもルカ君って
Hey, Luca, are you really a boy? Everyone else here said he was, but still, it just didn't seem right to her.
そう
I
で
am,
すけど
yeah.
やっぱり
You really look more like a girl, though.
しか見えないよね。そんなこと言われて
I don't know what to say to that.
そうだ
I know.
ね
Hey, why don't we take a bath
お
tomorrow?
風呂入ってみる？そうすれば
I don't know if you're really a boy or not.
本当に男の子なのかどうかわかるでしょ？ダメですよ、そんなの。
No, we can't.
どうして？
Why not?
だって
Because
そんなの
I can't take a bath with a girl.
女の人と一緒にお風呂なんてそんな。お姉さんとは
Don't you take baths with your sister?
入ってましたけど。
Yes, but that was when I was little.
それは小さい頃の話で。かがり、ごめんごめん。
I'm sorry, it was a joke. You're so cute, I felt like I had to tease you.
可愛いからついからかっちゃった。そんな。でもそういう
If you responded that way, it means you really are a boy.
やっぱり男の子なんだね。最初からそう。
That's what I've been saying. And when he was upset, he still looked like a girl. She thought.
ご覧のようにこちらのお店では数十種類にも及ぶ食べ物が全部食べ放題なんです。
TV screen had been showing all kinds of delicious food.
すごいな。
Part of it almost moved her to tears.
今の時代ってすごいよね。
That was so wonderful. It's so different than the world I know.
大違い。そうなんですか？
Is it?
未来の
What's the future like?
知りたい？
You wanna know? Luca looked a little uncertain. Even though she'd asked, Kagedi wasn't certain she should tell him. Future she knew was filled with despair. Everyone struggled desperately to stay alive, hoping that tomorrow would somehow be better. They knew there was no hope. How would they survive?
やっぱりやめておきます。
I don't think I do. Kagedi sighed in relief.
その方がいいよ。
You're better off that way.
未来
The future can be changed.
だから。未来は
Future can be changed?
うん。
Yeah,
マ
that's what Mom said.
そう言ってた。
That it could be changed.
きっと
He
変え
said
られ
he'd
る。
change it.
変えてくれるって。変えて
He'd change
くれ
it.
る。
That's what Mayuri had always told Kagedi. That was a tiny light of hope.
ね。
ん？
なんだっけな。
What was it?
シュタイン
Steins.
なんとか。
What?
シュタインズゲート。そう。
Yes, that's it.
それ
Mommy said she knew it was real.
ママは言ってた。って言いながら。
But I don't really know what it is.
それが何なのか私もよくわからないんだけど。
Steins Gate. To be honest, Kagedi didn't know exactly what that meant. But each time Mayuri said it, Kagedi had felt warmth in her heart. Someone would come to lead them to Steins Gate. Thought about that, it gave her hope.
さて、それでは次の特集です。
Uh-oh. And now for our next report. Did you know that memory restoration technology is being studied around the globe? Today we have a special report on an American university that's at the cutting edge of this research. Dr. Reyes? The news show had finished its food reports and had already switched to another topic. Now it was showing a college campus covered in greenery. It was a wide open space that clearly wasn't Japanese. The second she saw it, she suddenly felt dizzy. This is Victor Condria University. It may seem like just another college campus, but there's a major project going on here right now. Discussion became more technical. It was far beyond what Kagedi, who had only her memories as a child, could understand. But... Did I change the channel? Oh wait! Kagedi stopped him before he could get to the remote. Kagedi, do you understand this? Yeah. Talking about how the brain works and whether you can make false memories.
話。
She is a fake Kagari. I mean, I know that because of the other timeline, but I wonder if people who are going through this for the first time will be like, oh. Wow, that's amazing. It was too complicated for me. Suddenly found herself easily understanding what was being said. Why? How? How could she understand this? Yeah, it's not that complicated. Memories are controlled by a part of the brain called the hippocampus. There's a special part of the hippocampus called the fascia dentata. Granule-shaped cells found near the hippocampal gyrus. Anatomy treats them as distinct from the hippocampus, but the field of neurology often uses the term hippocampus to refer to both of them. Recent research has revealed that neurogenesis occurring in the gyrus dentatus plays an important role in forgetting things. A cooking appliance that heats the moisture in food using microwaves. They were originally called radar in this case, referring to electromagnetic waves. Microwave ovens were invented when a communication radar technician realized that EM waves could warm food. Research was done in the process after that, and in 1947, they were sold to the public in America. Microwave ovens use waves in the 2.45 GHz frequency range, with home units having an output between 500 to 1000 watts and commercial ovens between 1500 and 2000 watts. The frequency range is called the ISM band and is the same one used by wireless internet. Alright, give me a second, I have to respond to an SGDQ thing. Sorry, I'm gonna be doing this right now, but the sooner I get it out of the way, the better. Okay. I'm sorry, I just had to get out of the way. I was surprised at what she was saying, but the words kept coming anyway. The new nerve cells are constructed there to cause existing neurological pathways to organize. That's what makes you forget things. And so when the study team did experiments on mice, they saw false memories created. Oh look, the room in the back. That's where they do the nice experiments and stuff. How does she know this? Agari, are you familiar with this university? Then I realized that Luca was looking confused.
だって
I mean,
なんだか
you seem to know a lot about
詳
it.
しそうな口ぶりでしたし。
TV was showing something that looked like a lab. Camera went toward the back of the room. A white door was open that led to the next room. Taking the results of the experiments on mice performed here, the research team.
ううん、知
No,
らない。
I don't.
でも
Just
今
now. That's right, she wasn't familiar with it. She didn't know anything about any place like this. But
わからない。
I don't know.
知らない。
I don't know.
けど
But
なんでだろう。
some reason
さっきは知ってるような
suddenly feels like I
気が
do.
したの。
There was suddenly a piercing pain in the back of her head. Like the beginning of something terrifying, she suddenly felt very nervous. Switching perspectives back to Ventaro.
いいか、おめえの頼みを聞いてやるわけじゃねえ。
Listen, I'm not doing it because you asked me to. Just don't forget that.
感謝します。
Thank you. Morning, I got to Noji and asked him to protect Kagadi if something happened. That meant I had to talk to him about his role as a founder again. I had to tell him that Kagadi was caught up in something too big too. It was the second time I had that conversation and I was able to make it go a little smoother. It was only relative to the first time though. Never wanted to ask him for anything like this ever again. Okay. What the hell are you people involved in?
それは
I stopped myself.
話せねえってか。
Can't say, huh? You're asking me for a favor, but you won't say anything.
随分と虫のいい話だな。
すみません。
I'm sorry.
だが
That's
それで
good though.
え
Information is your final trump card. If you had just come out and told me, I would have called this whole thing off.
俺は降りてたぜ。ま、
Anyway,
せいぜい
just be
気をつけ
careful.
ろな。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you, sir.
わかった。
Get it, I get it. Don't be so polite. That makes it so damn hard to deal with you.
何もやりにくくてしょうがねえ。
Bowed to him once more anyway and left the branch workshop. Managed to get to Noji's help. This morning I'd gotten another person on my side as well. Moeka Kiryu. She was a lot easier than Tenoji. I checked with Dada last night and found that just like in the old war line, we'd had her to find out more about Kagari. All I had to do was ask her to keep looking into what Kagari had been doing before she'd come to this town. I'd done everything I could in case something happened. All that was left was to pray that nothing did. Got back to the lab where Lukako was waiting. He had a very serious look on his face and he said he needed to talk to me.
実は
Something bothering me about Kagari's memories.
気になることがあって。
かがりの
Kagari's memory?
あ、
Yeah,
とは言っても
I don't know if it would help
こ
bring them
れ
back.
が記憶を取り戻すことにつながるかどうかはわからないんですけど。
構わない。
It's fine.
気になることがある
Something's bothering you, just tell me.
話してくれ。
はい。
Okay. Lucas started to fidget and rubbed his knees together, then he looked up at me and slowly opened his mouth.
ゆうべ
Last night,
テレビで
they were doing a special on
記
memory
憶
research
の
on
研
TV.
究についての特集をやっていて、
It was about an American
アメリ
university.
カの大学で行われているものだったんですけど。
Excuse me. Okay. But that's probably gonna happen quite a bit. I'm still trying to figure things out for SGDQ, so trying to make sure no problems happen, you know?
それを見ていた
And Kagari said she acted like she recognized the
その
school.
学校を知っているような口ぶりだった。
アメリカの
American College.
どこの
Which
大学
one?
なんだ
It
か
had a really complicated
難し
name.
い名前の学
I
校
think
で
it was
確かビクトル・コントル
ビクトル・コンドリア大学か
Mitochondria University?
あ、そうです。
That's right. That's the place.
そうです。
Mitochondria University. That's what Kurisu had studied. Kagari knew Mitochondria? That was true, then how? Most obvious possibility that she went there too. How would a kid who went missing in Japan go to an American school? One of the best at that. Of course, it was impossible, but
どうでしょう。
what do you think?
何か
Was this a clue?
手がかりになりそうでしょうか。
さすがに
Can't say anything just based off of that,
なんとも言え
but
ないが
そうですか。
I see. If it could show us something
で
disappointment.
も
Doesn't mean it's not a
ならないと
clue.
いうわけじゃない。
それじゃあ
What? Then,
ああ
yeah.
確
It's
かに
worth
見る
checking
必要
out.
はあるな。
改まってお話って何かな。
What did you want to talk to me about? Best way to find out was to talk to her directly. Kagari was just about to start walk and she seemed put off by the fact that I suddenly asked to speak to her.
話はちょっと待ってく
Can you
れ。
wait just a second?
もう一人呼んであるんだ。
I've asked another person to join us. Maho?
もう一人
Another person? I know a lot about Mitochondria myself. I asked Kagari what she knew about the school, but I couldn't tell if her information was accurate or not. There was a better person she could ask. Someone who should be here any minute.
お邪魔します。
Excuse me. Best way to find out about the school was to ask someone who actually went there. In fact, Maho was to this day a part of the brain science lab.
あ、真帆さん、こんにちは。
Maho, hello.
はい、元気？
Hi, how have you been? I still didn't know that the Kagari was from the future. I have to keep her from finding out.
それにしても本当に
No, she really does look like Kirisu. Maho stared at Kagari and then whispered so that only I could hear. It made sense. I'd been surprised myself. Started by explaining to Maho why I brought her here.
じゃあ何？
What?
つまり
Think she might have gone to my
うち
school?
の学校にいたかもしれないっていうの？ちょっと待って。
Wait a second.
そんなこと
I don't know about anything about I don't know anything about this Victor Condra what's it place.
なんて知らないよ。ビクトル・コンドリア大学。ほらね。
See? I didn't even remember the name.
覚えてないんだもん。
でも
Yesterday you acted like you recognized it.
だったんだろ
Right, Lukako? Yeah.
奥に
You
は
said they did mice experiments in the
ネ
back
ズミ
room.
さんを使った実験を行っているって。そしたら
And then after that they actually showed the experiments in that
その
room.
部屋での実験の様子が映って。
かがりは
You remember that, Kagari?
ね、覚
I
えてない。
don't. I didn't imagine Lukako would lie, or that there would be any point into him doing so. Same was true for Kagari, too.
漆原さん、
What is Shibara?
研究室
You remember what that
ど
lab
こだったか
was?
わかる？詳し
I
く
don't
は
know the
わからないんです
details,
けど、
but they said they were doing research on memories and the brain.
そんな研究をしているって言ってました。ということは、
Means,
もしかすると
might have been the
脳
brain
科学
science
研究
lab?
所かもしれないわね。
The brain science lab. That was, well,
私が所属してい
that's
る
where I
ところ
work. Also, where Kurisu worked too.
それじゃあ
And Kagari may have met you and Kurisu.
かがりはヒアジョーさんやクリスと会っていたかもしれないということか。
あくまでも家庭の
Just a
話。
possibility.
脳科学を研究してい
More
る
than
と
one
ころは
place that
一
was
つじゃない
such as
し、
brain science.
私のいるところだって
Not just grad students
院生
where I
だけ
work.
じゃなく
There are a lot of
他の
regular
研究者
scientists
も
too.
たくさん出入りしてるもの。私だって
Even I
研
haven't
究
met
所に
everyone
い
at
る
the
人間
lab.
全員と顔を合わせたわけじゃ。ただ
But if I saw another Japanese person there, I'm sure I'd remember that.
見かければ記憶には残っているでしょうね。
Meant she didn't remember it, which meant she probably hadn't met her.
ルカ子、
Here you go.
他に
Was there anything else about Kagedi that you've noticed?
ないか？
Kagedi sometimes knows about things that are really complicated.
時々びっくりするくらい難しいことを知っていたり。私だって
Hey, I know some complicated things. Eddie pouted. There was one expression that was totally different than Kurisu's.
例えば
For example, roses and depression?
バラとか
Those were just words that were complicated to write in Japanese.
昨日はテレ
We're
ビで
doing a
記憶
special
の
on fake
捏造
memories
につ
last
いて
night.
放送し
And
て
you
いた
seem
ん
like
で
you
す
knew
け
a
ど、
lot about it.
それもなんだか詳しそうでした。記憶の捏
Fake
造
memories, huh? Yeah, one of the teams is working on
そ
that.
の研究を
We went to talk to them one time.
かがり、
Kagedi,
今その
can you
話を
talk about that now?
ね
I don't really know.
それがよ
Did
く
I
わ
really
かん
talk
ない
about that stuff?
私話してましたよ。
You did. Put her hand between her eyebrows and thought. Really didn't remember, it seemed.
今までにこういう
This happened a lot before.
最近まではそれほど
Much until recently.
この何日
It
か
only
で
started happening over the last few days. Didn't know how Kagedi could know things about Victochondria. It clearly had something to do with her missing memories. If I followed the trail a little longer, I might learn some clues. Possible I might be able to bring back her memories. Suddenly she started to moan in pain.
かがりさんどうしたんです
Kagedi,
か
what's wrong?
ちょっと
My head.
頭が
Kind of...
痛いんですか
It hurts? Yukiko was looking at her face, worried. Yeah,
ちょっぴり
just a bit.
少し横になるか？
Wanna lie down a little?
大丈夫
I'm fine.
少し話をせかせ
Maybe this is all too sudden. Sorry, my computer glitched. That was weird. What the hell? Like everything just like flashed and I was like, huh? Oh, something did flash. What is going on? Something's not working right. Did I go offline? Is that what happened? No. These look fine. Okay. Okay. It should be broken, right?
そうね
Right, we may have put too much stress on her. I was looking worried too.
本当に平気
Are you really okay? Yeah,
大丈夫
I'm fine.
です
Thank you,
先
senpai.
輩だったらいいのだけど
How so? Conversation was so natural. Mao and I almost missed it.
おい、
Hey,
今
did she just...
うん
Yeah,
先
she
輩
called me senpai.
Kagari,
Kagari,
君今
you just got Hyajo senpai,
先輩って
right?
呼んだよな。ヒアジョさんの。
嘘。
No way.
私
I
そんな
didn't.
こと。いいえ、
No,
間違い
you definitely did. Urushibawa, you heard it too,
聞いていたわよね。
right?
はい。
Yes. Senpai, the Japanese word used to address an older classmate or colleague. I just learned that Maho and Kagari hadn't met at Victochondria. Does that mean it was just a mistake? And the footsteps coming up the stairs distracted me. They were so heavy there was no need to wonder who it was. Oh, I was thinking Tenoji for some reason. Hey.
お邪魔してます。
Hello. Oh, you're here, Mahotan.
その呼び方は
Don't call me that.
足りるかな
Do I have enough? 1, 2, 3. You know, my host complained and started to count the number of people in the room. He was some kind of paper bag in his hands.
よかった。
Okay,
大丈夫
I've got enough.
何が大丈夫
Enough what?
ほら、
You know how they opened a new atoll in front of the station? They were selling some good-looking pudding. Thought it might be a nice treat, so I bought enough for everyone.
人数分あるかなって。
Put down the bag, opened the box, and started putting the pudding cups in the table.
ある。後にしろ。
Gotta do it later.
何みんな
Why do you all look so upset? Did that rare for me to buy something for everybody?
そんな珍しい まあ確かにその
Well, I guess it is, but I've got some extra work at my job, you see.
臨時収入が入ったんだよね。仕事が
Not only am I talented, I'm also kind-hearted and I get paid. Feel free to fall in love, ladies.
あれ
Oh? He turned the bag over and started shaking it.
スプーンが一人分
I'm missing a spoon, but the staff here forgot to put one in it.
入れ忘れたな。
使ってないスプ
He
ーン。
has a clean spoon in the
確
sink.
か流しのところに。あ、私、
Oh, I've got my own spoon that I always use. Lukako stood up to get a spoon from the sink, then suddenly stopped. Looked at Kagari with a confused expression.
かがりさん、マイスプーンなんて持ってましたっけ？
Kagari, do you own a spoon? Was she a fake Makise at some point?
かがりさんが持ってたのって
I thought all you had with you was the Upa keychain.
パのキーホルダーだけだったような。あれ？
What?
そう。
That's right, isn't it? That's strange.
なんで
Why did I say I had
持
one?
ってるなんて。
Her own spoon. I heard someone say that before. Not many people carry their own spoons around. Common in Japan to carry around your own personal set of chopsticks lately, not spoons. But I knew. I had known someone who carried around her own spoon. It was Kurisu Makise. Bye. Okay. A moment ago, she called Maho senpai. How can he know Kurisu after all?
なあ、ヒアジョ。
Hey, Hajo.
向こう
How many people called you
君のこと
senpai in
先輩
America?
と呼ぶ人間は何人いた？
一人だけよ。
Just one.
先輩とか
Japanese word and a Japanese concept, after all.
日本独特のも
There was
の
no need to even ask who it was.
私を
The only one who called me senpai
クリスだけ。
was Kurisu.
クリス。
Kurisu.
かがり、
Kagari,
君は
you know a girl named
マキセ
Kurisu
フリスの
Makise?
ことを知ってるの？
クリス。
Kurisu.
マキセ。
Kurisu Makise. You know her, and was she imitating her? Why would she need to do that?
マキセクリス。
It seemed to be desperately searching her memories, but it didn't seem to be working. There was sweat on her forehead. Her headache might still be bothering
無
her.
理はしなくていい。
Don't force yourself.
急いで。
There's no need to remember immediately.
うん。
No.
このまま
It feels creepy leaving it like this. I feel like you can't remember something. I don't know. I assume something, Okarin. Don't say it, Christina. Do not say Christina. What? What's going on here? The fact that Kagari responded this strongly to Kurisu's name meant that there had to be some relationship. What could there possibly be? The question is this. What had Kagari been doing ever since she separated from Suzuha in 1998? She never met Maho. Did she ever meet Kurisu? Maybe she became friends with Kurisu and learned a lot about her. Then she'd gotten Kurisu's stories mixed up with her own memories? Or I remembered the machine that Kurisu had developed in the Alpha World line and came up with a certain hypothesis. I told myself that was impossible. My eyes met Maho's. He nodded. Hey, Kari. Let me ask you some questions. Now I wanted to learn how much Kagari knew about Kurisu. Where is your father? Daddy died when I was a kid. Memories were mixed with Kurisu, she wouldn't say that. Those were Kagari's memories. That she remembered everything from before she was 10 years old. She only lost her memories after she separated from Suzuha in 1998. To go a little deeper. And what does the word Kuri Gohan mean to you? Kuri Gohan? What are you talking about? Answer me please, Kagari. Shit! Everyone else seemed confused. I felt as if my heart was about to stop. How could she know? Kuri Gohan and Kamehameha were Kurisu's that channel handle. Not only did she keep that a secret, she almost never let anyone know that she posted on that channel. She never would have told anyone. How could Kagari know something that only Kurisu should know? More sweat was pouring down Kagari's forehead. Luka offered her a handkerchief, worried. Kagari nodded and took it. Kagari. Can you tell me how many major theories of time travel there are? Oh, it looked like she wanted to say something, but I motioned for her to stay quiet. 11. Kagari spoke clearly as if the answer was the most obvious thing in the world. 11 in total. Wait, is that right? I hadn't expected much when I asked the question. I certainly hadn't expected that. The terrifying possibility I thought of earlier was becoming more and more real. Impossible, it had to be. The more I tried to convince myself, the more my fear grew. Can you tell me what these 11 theories are? Neutron star theory, and then black hole theory, light speed theory, tachyon theory, wormhole theory, exotic matter theory. Patty was counting with her fingers and speaking with very little hesitation. Cosmic string theory, quantum gravity theory, cesium laser theory, elementary particle ring and laser theory, and lastly Dirac antiparticle theory. Those are all correct. Oh, his voice was hoarse. Tell me, Okabe. How do I know all this? Heidi looked like she was about to cry a little. I ask you one more thing. Did you use those theories to build a time machine? I don't think so. Oh, but even if you couldn't use those 11 theories, science may invent a new theory that works someday. Why do you think so? Why? That's because... I don't know. Let me ask another question. How did you arrive at that conclusion? I don't know. Just somehow, I knew. You knew, huh? I meant the knowledge existed inside of her. Why did she have that knowledge? She'd been to Victor Condry at some time in the past and met Kurisu there. Maybe they were close friends. So close that Kurisu would share her at-channel nickname, which she never told anyone. And perhaps she mistook what she heard from Kurisu for her own memories. Though that was the most obvious possibility. That would go against what Kurisu had said. They said she didn't really have any close friends in America. She seemed to have developed a solid relationship with Maho at work, but the dark fear in my mind kept growing. Hey Hanjo, remember how you said Amadeus was put on hold? Does the uploaded memory data for Kurisu still exist? Huh? Yeah, probably. I don't think it was erased. How many people could access that? Very few. We never really announced it anyway. Myself, Dr. Leskinen, a few of the other assistants, and then Kurisu. Another question. Would it be possible to transfer that memory data to a human brain? Near the ward line, Maho herself, Dr. Leskinen to be precise, I said something about that at the ATF seminar, and I had experienced it myself. Through a machine that digitized human memories, sent them through time and then back to the same person's brain. It didn't exist in this world line, but I'd once lived in a world line where it was developed in this very room. I used it far more times than I had ever wanted to. Because of that experience, I came up with an idea. Terrifying idea. Another way to explain what's happening to Kagari now. What are you getting at? Kurisu was the one who had her own personal spoon. He was the only one who called you senpai at school. Gohan and Kamehameha was Kurisu's handle on at channel. I'm the only one who knew about it besides her. Kurisu would know about the lab at Victochondria. She would know about the mouse experiments. She would know about the 11 theories of time travel. Erin, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? This is my idea. Around the room and everyone in the back of Kagari. Kagari. Possible that you may have Kurisu Makise's memories inside you. Kagari has Kurisu Makise's memories. Yuki hasn't been here in a while, has she? Kinda worries me. Because that didn't seem as surprised as I had expected. Maho and I asked her some questions after more questions after that. About Victochondria, about her research. The answers were all over the place. Some things she knew and some things she didn't. Some of the things she knew were things that only Maho and Kurisu would have known. In the end, instead of being overturned, my hypothesis came out even stronger. All the questions seemed to tire Kagari out. No Noji's permission, Lukako took her home. Maho completely refused to accept what I was saying, but did say before she left that she'd look into whether it was possible to transfer Amadeus' memories data into a human brain. And that night, I explained the situation to Suzuha. You mean Kagari has two personalities? No, that's not it. The proper word for multiple personalities is dissociative identity disorder. An additional personalities are created within the person themselves. Like you're upset or uneasy about who you are, so you make another personality within yourself. Once in a while, there would be a case where someone would take the personality of the man or woman they admired. Usually it was a completely original one. But that's not what's going on in Kagari's case. She doesn't have a personality. What she's got is quite literally only Kurisu's memories. Possible that Kurisu's memories are mixed in with her own. Kagari's memories weren't overwritten. Still had them. That's why. They're both false. They're both wrong. But they had mixed together. I see. With 2036 technology, that's certainly possible. And since Kagari's a time traveler from that year, the possibility? She has her memories from when she was 10, right? If they put someone else's memories into her head, she should remember that, right? I remember her saying once in a while back then that she heard the voice of God. Hallucination. Possible that's a part of Chris's memories leaking out. Yeah. If the future wasn't as peaceful as this era, there weren't enough people, and there weren't enough supplies. Even if they did have memory transfer technology, it would have been a military secret. Can't imagine them using it on a civilian, especially a kid. Kagari was a war orphan. No chance it was used to cure her PTSD. That wouldn't explain why they'd want to transfer someone else's memories into her. That's right. Which means, more likely that it was done during the time when she had no memories, in 1998 and now. Even if it's possible in 2036, is it possible right now? Lisa could do it. Done it all by herself to make the time loop machine after all. But Kurisa Makise transferred her own memories to Kakari. Why would she do that? Like something a mad scientist would do. There's no way. It was impossible, it had to be. There weren't many people as smart as Kurisa Makise. Didn't do it, I couldn't imagine anyone who else would. Right. I'm getting ahead of myself. I agree. And I've been getting too attached to my own idea. There's no doubt that Kagari knows things only Kurisa could know. Maybe like Makiseishi's soul became a ghost and possessed her? Don't even think of saying that around Hyajo. He'll laugh in your face. You got that right. In the end, I realized there was nothing I could do for Kagari but watch for a while to see how things went. We were just students without any kind of specialized knowledge. No matter how much we debated on what ideas we came up with, we wouldn't be able to find the answer easily. And to think of it, Daru, what's Yuki up to? Manishi's busy with work every day, it looks like. What does she do again? Works at a cake bakery I had. Said it's really good. We should go check it out. That's right, but it's a little far away, isn't it? That's why she'd be happy if you went, right? Get a grip, Dad. Oh right, my bad. Wait, Okarin, why are you asking anyway? No reason, I was just curious. That girl in the motorcycle suit, that had been Yuki Amane. I hadn't convinced myself it wasn't her. If it was, if she may be involved in some way with what was happening to Kagari. That attack only took place in the other world line. It hadn't happened on this one, so I had no way to tell. If there was something There's something going on with Mom? No. There's nothing. We didn't have any proof. I had to just keep an eye on her. The priority right now was Kagari. And it happened during the time when she lost her memories. If I could find that out, it might be able to understand what was about to happen to us. Okay, I'm going to get started. Ready? Yeah. I came to the lab again the next day. He was there to look at Kagari's memories. Kagari had volunteered to work with her. As of yesterday, my hypothesis was still just a hypothesis. Anytime she saw a hypothesis, she wanted to test it. Maybe that's just how scientists work. First, can you look at this? I held up a cell phone. The picture displayed on its screen. There was a corridor, white halls, and clean white floors, and two people wearing white lab coats were walking down it. You know what this is? A school? Which school? Mitochondria University. You know who this is in front? His nickname is JP, because he does this weird little dance when he gets excited. And who's the girl? I don't know. Well, She's pretty famous among us scientists. Kurisu would definitely know her.
仮に鏡が
Like, even if Kagami does have Kurisu's memories, she can't recall them all perfectly.
完全に全てを思い出せているわけじゃないみたいだ。
It's that scene yesterday, too.
記憶として呼び起
Here
こ
there's some things she can remember and other things she
そう
can't.
じゃないものがあるんじゃないのか。
That doesn't mean we can say for sure that these are Kurisu's memories yet. Anyone could find out about these two with a little research. Kagani, can I ask you some more questions? Okay. Last winter, Kurisu and I went to see a movie.
ヒヤジョーさんと
You and Kurisu did? That's surprising. Even we need a break sometimes. Normally all we do is walk. Surprising, actually, I hadn't thought they'd interacted outside of work. I was hitting a little wall in my research, so she took me out. Said she just happened to have 2 tickets. Just like how a man asked a girl on a date. Never was any good with that stuff. You know what the title of the movie was? Bob Wiener's His and Her Foreboding. Oh, gulped. Must have been the right answer.
それって最近の映画か
That's a new movie.
聞いたこと
I've never heard of it. 20 years old. This was a revival showing. Kagari had guessed it. You'd known the title of a movie that Kurisu and Maho had gone to see together in private. Since it wasn't a major worldwide release, it wasn't something you could get with a lucky guess. But somebody could have witnessed it.
だが
Yeah, but how would they know you were going to ask that
そん
question?
な質問をするということは予想できなかったはずだ。鏡がそのために
You're saying she memorized every tiny bit of information you could possibly ask about.
したとでも
Would be impossible and she didn't have every reason to bother anyway. Not like I don't know that. Tell from the pained expression on her face that Maho was struggling with something. I was starting to realize what it was. Didn't want to admit it. Didn't want to admit it was possible. It was winter, but Kagari's forehead was dripping with sweat again. Going through her confused memories may have been putting a lot of stress on her.
これぐらいにしよ
Enough.
う。鏡がきつ
Looks like it's hard on Kagari. Wait, so let me ask one more question. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Kagani nodded in motion for her to go ahead. What was the greatest treasure when you were a kid? When I was a kid, even after you moved to America, you always kept it in your room. Stuffed dolphin. Dad bought it for me when we went to the aquarium. Maho sighed and slung it to the sofa.
合ってるのか
She right? Yep. Kurisu's mom told me about it on the phone last night. The only people who knew about that were Kurisu and her parents.
それじゃあ
Then, I hate to admit it, this hypothesis of yours, I can't rule it out.
そうか
See, what's going to happen to me? I have an answer. I didn't even know how this had happened in the first place. The possibility I could think of was... Kagari, sorry to make you go through all this. Get some rest. I stood up with a serious expression on her
帰る
face.
のか
You're leaving? Yeah. There's still some things I can check on my own. Okay. See you later. I stood up and went for the door without bothering to look back. Seemed to be silently shutting out the entire world. All we could do was watch her go. Maho's perspective. Oh, Hya just stood at her computer monitor in a daze. The world was still feeling the afterglow of New Year's excitement. Last time she'd come to Japan, it was still in the heat of summer. She used her vacation days to come then. Her coworker Kurisu Makise had suddenly died. She wanted to see the place where she was murdered herself. Maho's feelings for Kurisu Makise were complicated. When Kurisu had come to a lab, Maho had thought herself a genius. Graduated in high school after skipping grades, and joined a university lab while still in her teens. Understandable that she'd feel that way. Everyone else said she was a genius too, but her pride was shattered into tiny little pieces by the arrival of Kurisu Makase. Makase was a real thing. Maho didn't even come close to her. He had realized that she could never be as smart as Kurisu. He realized that she didn't want to be beaten by her anyway. It would have been so much easier if she could have hated her. It would have been so much easier to hate Kurisu. Kurisu Makase wouldn't even allow her that much. He was a dedicated scientist, and that dedication carried over to her treatment of Maho too. Maho, I think your research has the potential to change the world. If there's anything I can do to help, I will. Just say the word. Someday she swore she'd surpass her. Someday she swore she'd make Kurisu say that she was the smarter one. Now that would never happen. Kurisu Makase went away on a trip and never came back. Maho had been told that she'd been attacked by a robber and killed, but it didn't seem real. Felt like she'd come back to the lab any day now, and start arguing with the professors with that same self-satisfied smirk on her face. And then Maho would work on the Amadeus project, so that when Kurisu came back, she would be amazed. Amadeus. Artificial intelligence that could be loaded with an individual's memories. Possible to digitize memories by analyzing the nerve signals relating to the memories stored in the temporal lobe. It had been Kurisu, of course, who proved it. Then Maho and her team who turned that proof into usable technology. By the time Kurisu got back, she would have it all ready for the next level. He'd show it to Kurisu and astonish her. And that hope didn't last long. She was suddenly told that the professor was cancelled. The professor? The project, right? Yep. Of course she couldn't accept it, but no matter what she said, no matter how many times she argued with the professor, she couldn't get the cancellation overturned. Amadeus went to sleep at the bottom of the lab server, along with Kurisu's Makase digitized memories. Kurisu Makase's memories. Now they were in the head of another girl. How had that happened? There was only one possibility, if it was possible at all. Like when Tawakabe had said.
Oh yeah.
He opened the door and a large man she knew very well came inside.
Maho.
Maho, what's wrong? I thought you were still on your New Year's holiday. What about you, Professor? What are you doing here on your day off? I was meant to. Dr. Leskinen was here in Japan for a month-long conference on artificial intelligence. I had come with him as his assistant. The conference didn't take place every day. They spent the time between sessions at the Japanese office, in presentation material and exchanging emails. In my case, I don't have much to do on my days off. It's no fun sitting in a hotel, so I may as well come here and work. And I guess I'm the same. For a researcher, doing research was a hobby. Nothing else, all the scientists Maho knew were like that. Of course she'd come here today because she assumed Dr. Leskinen would feel that way. You have a lot of things to do, don't you? Dating, for instance. Professor, if you keep that up, I'm going to sue you for sexual harassment. Oh, anything but that. Dr. Leskinen slumped his shoulders in a unique way that Caucasians always reacted. He seemed intent on bringing Maho and Okabe together. She and Okabe were both friends of Kurisu's, and so they talked a lot, but there was nothing more to it than that. At least that's what she thought, probably. Alright, in lieu of an apology, may I ask you something? Anything, if it will keep me out of court. Alright. What's going on with Amadeus right now? You should know the answer to that. Right now, there's no plans to continue the project. I know that. What I'm asking is, what happened to the Amadeus data? It's saved on the lab server, right? Nobody else accessed it and took it out. Leskinen's eyes narrowed and he slowly shook his head. Maho, I don't know where you got that idea, but Amadeus' access is limited to only a few people, and as far as I know, no one else has touched it. Nothing else. I haven't received any reports about it. The same goes for my and Kurisu's memory data. Of course. Then,
他に私が
Is it possible there's some other AI project going on that I don't know about?
なんてこともありませんか？
あるわけがない。
Of course not. You're the most important member of our research team.
真帆、君の力が必要不可欠だ。私たちは
We've lost Kurisu.
才能を失った。それは
And it was a big
大いなる
loss.
損失だ。
But I think you're the only one who can take her place.
穴を埋められるのは君だけだと思っている。そんな君
So there's no way I'd start a new project without you knowing, right?
そうですか。
I see. Compliment felt like a bit too much for her to take at face value. A lot of scientists who were always looking to get a leg up in their competition. No one else got the glory first. Everything you've worked on until that point would be useless. Even in the same team, there were only a few people you could really trust. But Maho, Dr. Leskinen was one of those people. Would that do you for an answer?
はい。
Yes. Then may I ask you something? Where did this come from? All of a sudden.
それは
Well, are you worried that someone might have access to your secrets?
そんなところ
Yeah,
です。
something like that.
それなら心配ない。いかにエメデウスと
And you don't need to worry. Amadeus was developed so as not to share any secrets the original wouldn't want shared.
君だって知っているはずだよ。それは
Same goes for the saved data.
についても言える。仮に何者かがデータを
Even if someone did steal it, the parts the original person wants to keep secret the most are kept within a black box.
ブラックボックスになっている。エメデウスからはもちろん
Can't be accessed via Amadeus or from the memory data itself. Those secrets get out, it's because a living human wanted them to.
生身の人間からだけだね。
記憶を持つ。
A living human.
そう。
That's right. The original person themselves, in other words.
どうだい？少しは安心したか？
Well, feel better?
ええ。
Yeah,
まあ、
I guess so. Wasn't that she didn't trust Dr. Leskinen. Couldn't realize until she'd seen for herself that no one had taken the data. I only thought it was possible to believe something after you'd seen it yourself. As she thought as a scientist should be. Right now she didn't have the access rights to do so. So in the end, she was stuck with her doubts. She knew this was going to happen, but she couldn't stop herself from asking anyway.
あら、二人ともいたのね。
You. I say the words and you appear. What are you, some kind of witch? You killed Dr. Leskinen in the other world. You both are evil, but you made it seem like he was not evil. Like I think that was the only ending where there wasn't any clear connection between Dr. Leskinen and anything that happened. Like the maid's walked through the door just as she finished her conversation with the professor.
まったく、せっかくの
Gosh, don't you two know it's a holiday? I need some water. I don't know why, but my mouth's really dry right now. I mean, I have been reading for a good, like, 6 hours, so not surprising. What about you, Dr. Reyes? Got nothing to do in my hotel. Maho exchanged a glance with Dr. Leskinen, then shrugged. That's just how scientists work. What? What's going on? It's nothing. He and Dr. Leskinen laughed at Reyes' confusion. The doubts in her mind lingered. Rintaro! These memories were inside Kagari's head. Several days had passed since I began to suspect my hypothesis was correct. I'm sorry, Okarin. I've caused a lot of trouble for you. No, it's nothing,
迷
really.
惑だなんて思ってな
And I
い
think Lukako and Mayuri are doing a lot more for you than me.
俺なんかよりもルカ子やマユリの方がいろいろと気を配ってくれてるはずだ
In fact, Mayuri and Lukako were doing a very good job of taking care of her. Mayuri may not have realized it, but Kagari looked up to her as a mother figure. And after living under the same roof for so long, Lukako had come to care for her a lot.
そんな僕なんて
That's not true.
ただ話し
All
相
I'm
手
doing is giving her someone to talk to.
まゆしこそ
Hey, she's sorry that she can't do more, you know?
あげられなくてごめんね
No, that's not
う
true.
んないよ
Luka's being real nice. And just having mommy around makes me happy.
ママはいてくれるだけで嬉しいし
Mayuri fidgeted in embarrassment when she heard the word mommy. Didn't understand why. It must feel strange to be called mommy at her age, especially by someone who was older than she was.
ねえママなに
Nani?
ギュッてして
I give you a hug.
ギュッ
A hug?
子供の頃
Can I give you a hug like you always used to do for me when I was little?
にギュッてしてもいいママ照れちゃ
I'm blushing.
うなダメ
I can't?
うん
No. Go ahead. And he smiled and nodded, and Kagari gave her a big hug with a huge grin on her face.
かがりちゃんいい子
You're such a good girl. And he never asked for details, but she seemed to sense what was happening to Kagari. Probably understood that this was the best thing she could do right now.
ママ
It was strange. Kagari was a lot older, but when they were like this, they really did look like mother and child.
ありがとうママ
Kagari slowly moved away from Mayuri. Looked a lot calmer than she had a moment ago. Probably okay to talk to her now.
それで
Kagari,
カガリ
how are you
調
doing?
子はどうだ
調子
How am I doing?
調子
Hmm.
ね
I guess I don't
なん
know.
かよくわからないかな
よくわからない
You don't know.
ふとした瞬間に
Sometimes I find
思い出す
myself
ことが
remembering
ある
things.
んだけど
But I don't know if
そ
they're
れが
Chris's
自分
memories or
の
my
ものな
own.
のかクリスさんのものなのか難しい数式
Complicated
とか
formulas.
実験とか
Experiments.
理
It's
解
like I
は
don't
できてるん
understand
だ
them.
けど
But I know
自然
them.
みたいな
These only memories were of her time as a child and the time since Lukako's father's friend had found her. Lisa's memories would appear sometimes and fill the gap in between. I can't even imagine how that must have felt.
とね
Just a while ago,
パパ
I
の
remember
ことを
Daddy.
思い出したの
When Daddy told me I did good when I was
パ
little.
パに褒められた時の記憶それを思い出
I
して
remember that and it made
なん
me
だかす
really
ごく
happy.
嬉しかったんだけどねでも私
My parents died when I was a baby, and then Mommy Mayuri raised me.
それから
I don't know who my dad
マユリ
is.
ママに育ててもらったからパパなんて知らだけど
Even though it
自
wasn't
分
my
が
own
経験したこと
experience,
じゃないのに
I really felt happy
褒め
when
ら
he
れて
praised
嬉
me.
しいっていう感情は確かにあってそう考え
That
て
just
る
made my
と
head feel all funny.
頭の中がごちゃってなっちゃって
Kagari grimaced and held her head in her hands. When I'd met her, I'd been surprised by how much she looked like Kurisu. Talking to her like this, I realized how different she was. The way her expression was constantly changing. The way she always slightly overreacted was actually more like Mayuri. That because they were mother and child?
その
So,
クリスの記憶は
do Kurisu's memories come out often?
うん
Yeah,
前に
a lot more than they used to.
頻繁に
Maybe.
なったかも
I see.
そうか
ねえおか
Hey,
り
Karin.
かがりちゃん
What's going to happen to
どうな
Kagari?
っちゃうのかな
本来なら
Only the best thing we could
ちゃ
do
んと
is
した
get her
専門機関で
looked at by a
検査
team of
してもらうのが
specialists.
一番いいんだろうが
Given her position, it wasn't that easy.
あんまり
I really want an
検査はしたく
exam.
ないな
That was all I did when I
子
was
供の
little.
頃もね検査ばっかりしてたから
そうなのか
Yeah?
うん
Yep.
PTSD
He said it was to
を
treat my
治すためだったって
PTSD.
言って
She didn't seem eager to be looked at either, huh? If more of Kurisu's memories woke up, what would happen to her? Would she be Kagari Shina with the memories of Kurisu Makise? again, it's really weird to me that they sometimes do in the old style. Especially, the biggest change, like I said before, was the contrast difference. You could evidently see it in her face. Look how, like, bright her face is compared to Makise. But once you become Kurise Makise, a person's personality was more than just the sum of the memories. The memories were an important part of it. Once she had Kurise's memories, what would happen to her? At this point, no one knew. Quite possible that up until now, no one had ever shared a person's memories before. Mayuri, it's time. You're right. Hey, Ocarine, can you take care of Kagari? Got a meeting at school about our post-graduation plans, and we have to go. Oops. Don't apologize, and don't worry. I'll take her home. Thank you. Hey, Kagari. See you tomorrow. Bye, Mama. See you tomorrow. Once Manny and Lukiko were gone, it was just me and Kagari in the room. The problems with Kagari's memories started coming up. I'd been having her hold off on her job at the Brontu workshop. I was still having her come here as much as possible during the day in case something happened. Suzuha and Tenoji were downstairs. That alone made me feel better. Only felt Kagari looking at me. Wrong. Just realized how strange it is to be talking with you like this, Ocarine. Strange? Why? Guess to me, you were always just this person I heard stories about. Stories? Yep. Uncle Daru and Mommy would tell me about you. That's right. According to Suzuha, I was going to die in 2025. Meant that in Kagari's time, I was no longer alive. Mama talked about you all the time. Ocarine saved you, Mommy. Ocarine is Mommy's Hikoboshi. He still talks like that in the future? It was my turn to be embarrassed. But I always wondered who this Ocarine person was that my mom cared about so much. Who was this Fantaba Okabe that everyone talked about? Maybe I always admired you. A little? Stop teasing me. You're blushing, Ocarine. Kagari, you clearly had the upper hand here. Oh, but that's probably true of Kurise Makise too. Yeah. Mommy and Nikodata used to talk about Kurise Makise all the time. He died so long ago. I wondered what kind of person could have that much influence on things. What? What did Mayuri say about her? Said she was the person you loved. Person I loved. For me, that was an undeniable truth. That wasn't true for the rest of the lab. In this world line, Mayuri had never met Kurisu. I tried as much as possible to avoid bringing her up. Thanks to me, even in the future, she'd still feel that way. Oh, I know. I'm going shopping. Wanna come with me? Bad idea. Shopping? Yeah. You still don't know this area very well, do you? Can I? Of course. What happened in the last world line, it was probably a good idea to keep her from going outside too much. Probably needed to change of pace. Still afternoon, as long as we stuck to busy streets, we'd probably be fine. Yay! There's actually a lot of things I've been wanting. Things? There's some basic necessities. Isn't Lukiko getting you those things? Yeah, but he's a boy, right? So I didn't want to ask him for too much. Dude, even if he was beautiful, Lukiko was a guy. There were some things he just wouldn't understand. Okay. Let's go.
行くか。
Wow, this really is amazing. Look at these eyes were shining as she looked up and down the street. There are so many people, so many stores. Not to believe it's the same Akihabara. What's Akihabara like in the future? Best way to describe it is, a pile of rubble. But that goes for more than just Akihabara, though.
まあ、秋葉原に限ったことじゃないんだけどね。
It has said that the Third World War would start soon. Meant that the young Kagari would have only known the world after that horrible war. Of course, that was all my fault, probably. I did what Suzuha wanted and went back to July 28th. The world line changed so that the Third World War would never happen. Possible, the world lines were going to converge no matter what I did. Oh, Okarin. Are you telling yourself that it's your fault? I guess you read my mind. Oh god, is that Kurisu Makuse's, influence right there? I guess so. You can't think that. Nope. As far as I know, nobody, not Mommy, or Uncle Dario, blamed you. Because they all believed that you'd do it someday. What was it? Steins Gate? Would they believe you'd lead us there? Kagari was trying to make me feel better. That my Indian daughter would probably never blame me. But those words just made it worse. They'd given up on everything. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. I've had a pretty dog look on my face. No. I'm the one who should apologize. But I'm not... Not here to talk about that today. I don't get a chance to go outside often, so let's talk about something more fun. Okay? Yeah. Kagari's mind was probably filled with memories of a painful war. Nothing else. Those were her only memories as Kagari Shina. She was still trying to make me feel better. And if they weren't related by blood, she really was my auntie's daughter. It was hard to come up with something that was more fun to talk about. I know. I want to hear about what Mommy was like when she was young. I mean, I know she's still young right now. But when she was younger? Like when she was a hostage? Mayuri told you about that? Yeah. I love the look on her face when she talks about you. Like she's softly opening the lid of a treasure chest. Maybe? Her face, her voice, just remembering it makes me feel warm. Kagari Mayuri must have felt like a star shining in a world of darkness and mud. Star shining brighter than anything else in the night sky. It was nothing, really. Grandmother died and Mayuri really loved her. She looked so sad, like she was going to disappear any minute now. And I said something really silly. You're my hostage, right? Hearing it from another person made me so embarrassed that I wanted to go hide. I said something really silly. I was young. The folly of youth, you know? Those words saved Mommy, didn't they? I don't know. Those words meant that I was holding her back, even all the way into the future. Hey, you're hungry. Let's go get something to eat. Nyan Nyan? By walking ahead in an effort to change the subject, Spaghetti seemed hesitant as she tried to keep up. Anything you want to eat? Anything's fine. Always the answer that makes things the hardest, you know. Everything in the anime tastes so good. It's amazing.
未来じゃ何を
What did you eat in the future?
お芋とか
Mostly yams and
そういう
stuff.
のばっかりかな。
But mommy would flavor them differently every day.
毎日違う味付けしてくれてたから。
マユリが
Mighty cooked?
うん。
Yep.
マユリの料
Was
理
the
が
cooking, well,
その
good?
うまかった
Yep.
そう
I see. The human animal was capable of growth, it seemed. Rude! Well, Yuki had been teaching her a lot lately. Maybe that had paid off.
だから
Anything's fine.
私は何でもいいよ。
Alright then. Yup. Welcome back, Master. Oh, Ocarine! And Kakarin-yan too! Kakarin-yan. I chose to stop by May Queen Yan-yan and it was packed.
今日は混ん
Too
で
busy today.
そうなのにゃ。
Yeah, that's right. We just started an anime tie-in campaign, yeah?
始まったのにゃ。
When to think of it, there was a sign out front with some anime characters on it. I've seen those characters all over town.
おかげで大繁盛。
This place is packed, yeah?
満席なのに30分くらい待ってもらった。
You willing to wait 30 minutes? I can seat you.
そういうことなら
Take a rain check then,
今度にす
okay?
るよ
もっとゆっくり
Yeah, let's come back someday when it's a little slower.
してくるね。せっかく来ても
And your apologies, guys.
にゃ。
Rude. Left my Queen Yan Yan and walked around for a bit, but it was lunchtime and every place we saw was crowded.
すごいね。
Wow, there's people everywhere.
まったくだ
That's right. We could all just eat at
飯
home.
なんか食わず
We
に
should eat at home.
すればいいものを
We should all just eat at home instead of going outside.
でも
But that goes for us too, doesn't it?
私たちにも当てはまるよね。
Now then, what to do?
ラボで食べよう
Can we eat at the lab?
言っとくが
Just so you know,
俺は
I
料理なん
can't
て
cook.
できないぞ
私も
Me neither. And that was out of the question.
簡単なもの
Doesn't have to be anything complicated.
あ
I just wanted to try that one
あ
thing.
れ食べてみた
You
い
know, the noodles you put hot water in?
お湯かけて食べるヌードル。
カップ麺か
Instant noodles?
あんな
You sure
もの
that's what you want?
ね
In the future,
ね
a lot of factories go away. It's a lot harder to get.
なかなか手に入らなくなっちゃったんだ。ダルおじさんが
Kadada was always talking about how he wanted some.
食べたい
I wondered what they tasted like.
って言ってて、ずっと気になってたの。
He was okay with that, so was I. And just the thing. But a lot of instant noodles at the local convenience store. If there were any left, Dada would probably eat them.
すっごいね。
Wow, I didn't know there was so many different types of instant noodles.
種類あるんだ。
今は未来と違って
Unlike the future, there's all kinds of different ones now. Convenience stores get new stuff almost every
毎
week.
週のように新商品が出る
そうなんだね。
You're right. So I can pick any of these?
この中のどれを食べてもいいの？
I got you looked inside the plastic bag I was holding.
もちろん
Of course.
好きなのを選んで
Pick your favorite.
それじゃ
Alright,
どれにしよう
what
か
should I
な。
pick then?
ね
Hmm. Looked just like a child the way she put her finger to her lips as her eyes shone.
私
As her eyes shone.
これにする。
Oh, this one! Salt flavor!
なんなら
And take 2 or 3 if you want.
いつでも食べてもいいぞ
Really?
あ
Oh,
ーでも
but if I eat too many, I get fat.
飽きちゃうしな。
You had so many different expressions that I never got tired of watching them.
そういえば
Hey,
さっき
didn't you also get something else while we were there?
みたいだったけど。
ああ
Yep,
こ
this.
れだよ
Oh my god, subscription alert, you literally popped up just now. I turned to see if my chat's, like, if anything was in chat and then subscription alert. The flavor of many gamers. Salt. Like something plastic out of the bag.
これって
Is this
フォークだよ
your fork?
箸じゃ食べ
But
ら
it
れない
might be hard to eat with chopsticks.
自分専用
You
の
can keep it and leave it in the lab.
ラボに置いておけばいい
いいの？
Is that really okay?
別に
Nothing special,
大
really.
したものじゃない
Lisa had always wanted her own fork. It just didn't make up for anything. Wanted to do it.
やった。
Hey,
ありがとう。
thank you.
実は
Honestly, I'm not very good with chopsticks.
箸使う
Mommy always lectured me about it.
ママからも、あ、
Oh,
これ
got a bunny on the end.
ここにウサ
How
ギさんが
cute.
ついてる。かわいい。えへへ。
The Miyuri laugh.
このフォーク
I own fork. This means I own 2 things
これ
now.
で2つ目だ。
The other must have been the keychain the maid gave her.
でも、
I don't know why,
なんで
but
かな
it feels like I've always
こ
wanted
れ
this.
ずっと欲しかったような気がする。もしかして
Could this be one of
これは
Kurisu's
クリ
memories?
スさんの記憶なのかな。ね
さあ、
I don't really know.
どうだろうな。
え、オカリ
Hey,
ン。
Karim.
オカリン
You were
さん
in
は
love with Kurisu,
クリスさんの
weren't
こと
you?
好きだったんでしょ。
I almost choked at the unexpected change in the direction of the conversation. See? When you think of the coughing that I heard last time, I was like, hey, that literally does not sound like coughing, because that was Itaru, I think, doing it. And then this, like, listen to this. That sounds like a legitimate guy who was taken aback by something.
大丈
Are you okay? Where did that come from?
いきなりなんでそうなる？
夫？だって
Because that's what it means when someone is important to
大切
you,
な人っていうのは
right?
そういうことでしょ。
あ、
で、
So,
どうなの？
is it true?
好きだったの？
Did you love her? Seemed genuinely interested. Guess she was the right age for that.
ま
Well,
あ、あいつとの出会
through
いが
that meeting had
俺
changed my
の人
life.
生を大きく変えたのは確かだな。
あ
You changed the
あ、思い
subject.
出した。
No fair.
でも、
But
人生
I like the idea of
を
someone being so
大
important to
切
you
な人
that they changed your life.
あなんか憧れるか
Changed everything, past and future.
も。ね
Oh,
え、オカリン
オ
さ
カ
んか
リン。
ら見て、
What kind of person do you think she was?
どんな人だったの？
気になるか？
Are you interested?
自分の
I want to
頭
know
の
more
中
about the
にある
person who owns these memories in my head.
もっと知りたいよ。
俺が教えな
I
くて
have
も
memories even if I don't tell you, right?
記憶として頭の中にあるんじゃないのか？
それが
But I can't force myself to remember them. Sometimes they just come out in
思い出
fragments.
せないんだよね。時々それも大抵
It's all really
難
complicated
しいこ
stuff.
とばかり。だから
I want to know more about what kind of
人間
person
的
she
な部
was,
分ってい
you
う
know?
の？そういう人となりとか教えてほしいなって。
Agari had never actually met Kurisu, had she? Was sharing the memories of someone she'd never met. It makes sense if she wanted to know more about her.
あいつは
Gee, Kurisu
マキセイ
Makise
クリスは
was a very curious girl.
好奇心の強いやつだったよ。
ふむふむ
I see, I see.
その上頑
She
固。
was stubborn.
自分
She
が
thought she was right. She would never back down, no
誰
matter
に
what.
何を言われても決して曲げることはなかった。
そうなんだ。
不遜で強がりで
She was arrogant and strong-willed,
寂しがり
and also really lonely. Means of all the conversations I had with Kurisu and everything I'd gone through with her came flooding back into my mind. I talked to her here just like this once before, come to think of it. Not in this world line, though.
それに
She was scary when she got
怒ると
mad.
怖かった。
怖い？
Scary?
どんな風に？
How?
回答して海馬
Say
に
stuff like,
電極ぶっ刺す
I'll cut up in your skull and jam an electrode into your hippocampus.
ふえ
And then for some reason she ran a few steps forward and spun around. And then,
そんなこと言ってると回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺すわよ。
今すぐ回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺してやろうかしら。
Kurisu.
なんて
Was it like that?
こんな感じ。オカリンさん？
Oh, no.
いや
Memories of Kurisu inside Kagari. They could be perfectly replicated inside Kagari's head. But would Kagari Shina become Kurisu Makise? The stupid idea. Finale memories were different things. Even so, if... 15? 15 to 16. Memories turned into Khaleesi's completely. That happened.
オカリン。
え
Like he wandered back up to me and put a weight against me. So suddenly I caught my breath. Feel warmth on my chest. Feeling of his skin. Reminded me of Karisu.
す
Out of a pain moan brought me back to reality.
どうした
What's wrong, Kagari? What is this guy doing? Why is this guy in the forefront? It's like a scene and then it's just one guy. Actually, he kind of looks like me if you look at me. If I look over here at this angle, if my hair was black again, yeah, that's me, guys. I don't have a puffy jacket, so I can't replicate the look he has. My head. My head.
頭が痛いのか
Your head hurts. His body twitched in my arms. No. No. I don't want to go back.
どうしたんだ
Go on, Kagari.
落ち着け
Calm down.
落ち着く
Calm down, Kagari. Grabbed her hands to keep her from struggling anymore. On the street was staring at me, but I didn't have time to think about it.
大丈夫
It's okay.
大丈夫だ
It's okay.
Can 歩けるか
Can you walk?
とにかく
Let's get back to the lab.
ラボに戻ろう
Manny calmed down, but seemed to still be in pain, and her leaned on my shoulders as I took her back to the lab. She got back, she went to sleep and didn't wake up. Headache seemed to have calmed down, but sometimes she would still moan. I contacted my Yeti and the others, and they were probably going to arrive soon, but what she'd said before. You gonna remember Karisu before the timeline shift? What was that? Were those fragments of her lost memories? That was the case, then she really was. As I went to look at the clock, the door opened and Mayuri and Lukako came running in. Kagari, okay?
ああ
Yeah,
今は
sleeping now.
っている
I'm so glad. Must have heard us talking because Kagari's eyes slowly opened. Huh? Where am I? Looked around afraid. Come down. We're in the lab. Lab? Japan? That's right. Akihabara, Japan. Japan. I'm in Japan. Oh, that's right. That exchange program. Uh-oh. Get ready for the lecture, don't I? Exchange program? Acting strange. Hey, Kenny. Exchange program. Lecture. Those were Karisu's memories. My paper. Where's my paper? I worked really hard on it so I could show it to Dad.
落ち着けかがり
Calm down, Kagari.
それは君の
Those aren't your memories. Kagari looked up at me in a daze.
そう
Right.
お前は
Your name is Kagari Shina. Not Karisi Makise.
じゃない
かがり。私は椎名かがり。
ルカ子、悪いが、
Sorry.
かがりのことを
Can you
頼む。
handle this?
はい。
Yes. Kagadi was confused for a while after that, but she gradually started to calm down again. It seemed safe to do so. I'd taken her back to Yanabayashi Shrine. Maybe we weren't going to be able to look after Kagadi ourselves after all. Maybe we should take her. Maybe we should take her to a hospital. But my ego that was stopping me from doing so. Thinking about that as I walk along. She's gonna stay over tonight, okay?
ああ、
Yeah,
そうしても
that
らえ
would
る
be a
と
big
助か
help.
る。
It would make Kagadi feel a lot better.
なるべく
Try to
普
see
段
her
と
like
同
you
じよう
normally
に接
would.
してやってくれ。
Possible.
わかった。
Yeah, okay. But contact me right away if anything came up. And back to the lab.
かがり、
Kagadi in bad shape? That was the first thing Suzu had said to me when I walked through the door. Me and Maho were sitting on the sofa. Told them about the situation already via Vine. He was still worried anyway, probably.
今は落ち着いてるが、
Calm down now.
一
He
時は
was
回
very
復を直
confused
して
for
い
a
た。
while.
やっぱり
Hey, could he see his
クリスの
memories?
記憶。
ああ、
Yeah.
ここま
At
で
this
来る
point, I
と
don't think there's any doubt.
もう間違いないだろう。
I don't know why, but inside Kagede's minds were Kadi's Makus's memories, and was how to deal with this problem. There were limits to what we could do on our own. Most we could hope to do was figure out how this had happened. That wouldn't be a real solution. To really fix this, we need to get her back to normal. We erase Kadi's memories and restore the original Kagedi. For that, we needed the help of a specialist. Hyaja was a specialist in that sense. Nobody else who knew as much about memories and the workings of the brain. There was a problem. Still haven't told her that Kagedi was from the future. This world line, Maho didn't know Suzuha and the others that well. Of course, she didn't know about the future of the time machine. Okay to tell her?
ね
Hey,
え、あなたたちは
how did you guys meet
かがり
Kagedi?
どうやって知り合ったの？漆原さんのとこ
Know
ろ
what she was up to before she came to
彼女は
Ujishibara's
どこで何を
house.
していたのかしら？かがりは千葉
Kagedi was found near the prefectural border in Chiba.
意識を取り戻
He
した
woke
時
up.
点で
He didn't have any memories of what had happened before. Same as the last word line.
でも子供の
He had an memories of when she was a kid, right?
鈴
You
葉
knew
さ
her,
ん
didn't you?
彼女と知り合いだったのよね。子供の頃の彼女
What
は
was she when she was a
どこで
kid?
何をしていたの？
God looked at me silently. Kagedi, okay? Fine, don't worry. I'll do something. We're all doing our best. That's right. Daru and Maho are helping, and so are you. We've got your help too, so it'll be fine. Yep, my Yushi will do her best. Yeah, keep it up. Thanks, Okarine. We're responsible for what Kagedi was going through right now, probably. You could see on her face that she wanted to bring back the old Kagedi somehow.
おじさん、
Uncle,
どうする？
what do we do?
冷や嬢さ
Can
ん
we
に
tell
話
her?
しても。
Well, you just said uncle. Maho was a scientist. If we told her the truth, she'd be sure to take an interest in time travel. Might start working on a time machine. It's a big risk, but
かがりを救う方法
wanna
を
save
突き止め
Kagedi.
るためには
you don't have a choice, I
や
guess.
むを得ないか。
I for a moment then nodded. Priority right now was helping Kagedi. So I nodded back and then turned to face Maho.
今から話すこと
Only
を
a
知
very
って
few
いる
people
の
know what I'm about to tell
は
you.
ごく一部の人間しかいない。だから、
So make sure you don't tell anyone.
決して
Okay?
他の誰かに漏らしたりはしないで。なんなの？
What's all this about? I seemed overwhelmed by the sudden chill emanating from Suzuha. But Suzuha kept talking.
冗談に聞こえる
May
か
seem
も
like a
しれないけ
joke,
ど
but it isn't.
約束でき
Can you
るか否
promise or not?
答え
Pick
は
one.
二つに一つだ。
Maho looked at me hesitant. He must have seen something on my face.
わかった。
Fine.
誰に
I
も
won't
言
tell
わない。
anyone.
約束
I
する。
promise. Nodded.
それじゃあ、
Go ahead.
まずはさっきの
Start
質問
answering
に
your
答え
first question. Where were Kagedi and I when she was a kid?
私とかがりがどこで何をしていたか。私たち
We
は
were living in
第
2036.
三次世界
After
大
the
戦
Third
が
World
終わ
War
った後
ended and civil wars raged on
未だ
everywhere.
各地で内戦が続く戦時下に暮らしていた。
Maho's mouth hung open for a second, but soon her cheeks flushed with anger.
からかわないで。
Don't make fun of me.
真剣に聞い
I'm
てる
being
んだ。
serious here. I remained silent, eyes wide cold and staring straight into Maho's.
ヒアジョーさん
Joe,
鈴
Suzuha
は
warned you at the
最初に忠告し
start.
たはずだ
This isn't a fictional story.
作り話
It
で
isn't a
冗談
joke.
でもない鈴葉と覚
Suzuha and Kagari came from 25 years in the
25年後の
future
未来からやってき
in
た
a time machine.
タイムマシン
Time machine? But there's no way you could make...
その理論の
Even if I told you it was Kurisu Makise who came up with the basic theory.
だと言ってもか
Second I said Kurisu's name, the anger vanished from her face.
そん
That
な
can't...
わかった
Fine. I'll listen to what you
聞
have
く
to
だけは
say.
聞くわ
Suzuha and I told her almost everything. Almost everything. How met Kurisu? About the emails, what happened in the Alpha World line, the development of the time machine, Mayuri's death. Oh, he said Mayuri's death? I don't know if he said that in the other one. Back to field theory, what happened in 2036, what was going on with Kagari. One thing I didn't tell her was the truth about Kurisu's death. One thing he always admits.
とりあえず話を整理
Give
さ
me
せ
a
て
moment to process all that.
つまり
What you're telling me is that
鈴葉
Suzuha and
さん
Kagari
さんは
came here from the year 2036
未来を
to have
変えてもら
Okabe
う
change the
ために
future. Right?
2036年からやってきたとそうだよ
That's right. Maho sank into the sofa and sighed. Can't imagine Okabe being capable of pulling
そ
something
んな
like that
大層
off.
なことができるとは思えないわたった一人
Can't
の
believe the
人間
fate of all humanity
全
rests
人
on a
類
single
の命運
person.
がかかっているなんて
俺だって無
I
理
don't
だ
think
と
I
思
can
ってい
do
る
it either. Giving up, actually. Not a future.
到底信
Not
じ
really
られない
believable,
話ではある
but
でも
the theory you described might
あな
allow
たの
for a
その
time
理
leap.
論なら
Yes.
確かにタイムリープは可能かもしれないそれに何よ
More
り
than anything,
その理
it
論
was
の
Kurisu
元
who
を
came
作
up
っ
with
た
that
のは
theory,
クリスなんでしょだったら
and it's worth looking into.
検証に値するわだってあの子
Because he was a genius. Words together seem like a mixture of admiration, jealousy, and
信じるんだな
you believe it. Yeah?
その代わり
In exchange,
今度
I want you to let me
見せ
see
てほ
that
しいわ
time machine.
そのタイムマシンを乗ってきたっていう
You came here in
の
it.
あるんでしょ
It has to be around, right?
ある
It is.
すぐ近く
Very
に
close.
検証
I
作業
need to look
が必
into
要だ
this.
けど
But I've decided to believe you for now.
あなたたちの
I
話
want
を
to
信じ
I
る
want you to help me believe.
わかった
Alright. No hesitation in her
あり
voice.
がとう
Thank you. I said it was okay, it wasn't my place to speak. I was going to help, that was all that mattered.
話を
Get back to
ハグリ
Kagari.
の件に戻そうさっきも言ったよう
I
に
just told you,
はぐれ
separated
たの
from
は
Suzuha when she was
彼女が
10.
10歳の頃そしてそれ
And we have no idea where she was until she was
先月
found
になって
last
見つ
month,
かるまでの足取りは全く俺は
thinking she may not have been in
その間
Japan.
彼女が海外にいたんじゃないかと考えている
How long I had no way of knowing. It had been the whole time, or perhaps only a
オ
week.
カリンおじさんの仮説
Okarin's hypothesis is that she was at Victor Kandria University.
いたことになるね
あ
Yeah, and in that some form or another,
あ何らかの
he made
形で
contact with Amadeus.
アマデウスと接触した
The look on Maho's face was one between acceptance and resignation. She sighed loudly. A copy of Kurisu's memory data had been saved for use by Amadeus. Data was the only possible source for the memories within Kagari's head. And what's today had only strengthened my theory. Change program, lecture. These fragments of memories were all from before he'd come to Japan. Memory data had last been saved just before she'd come to America. That was another match.
この前
Just checked with Dr. Leskinen a while ago.
してみたんだけど
Kurisu's memory data had been
クリ
sealed
スの
away,
記憶データは
and no one can
凍
access
結され
it,
たまま
he said.
誰もアクセスできないはずだと言っていたわ
And in this world line, Dr. Leskinen never met Rentaro.
ただ
I don't have the authority
そ
to
れ
check
が
that
事
for
実かどうかを
myself,
確かめる権限は今それに
and it's possible
プ
someone
ロジェ
took
ク
the
ト
data
が
before
凍
the
結される
project was
前
shut
に
down.
何者かがデータを持ち出したことだって考えられるし
持ち出すこと
The only people who could have done that were people involved with the Amadeus research.
に携わってい
right?
た人間に限定されるんじゃないか
そうとは
Not
限らない
necessarily.
外部から
Anybody
サ
could
ーバ
do
ー
it
が
if they
侵
hacked
入
the
すれば
server.
誰にだってできることよ
Anyone was an exaggeration. Your average person wouldn't have a clue. You have to be a super hacker.
問題はもう
Question is, why? Your theory's
岡部
right.
さんの仮説が
Why would
正し
they
いと
want
し
to
て
do that?
なぜそんなことをする必要があったのか。
The most obvious possibility was that someone wanted access to Kirisu Makise's mind. Amadeus should suffice for that. There was no need to move her memories into another person's brain. Why would they want her mind that badly anyway? Genius, sure, but she'd only published a single paper. There was no reason to think it would be that important to anyone. Less.
もし
If someone knew that the basic theory of time travel was locked in
タ
Kirisu's
イムマシン
memories,
理論の基礎があることを何者かが知ったとしたら
someone out there would want it.
でも、
They survived that theory in the other world line you were telling me about.
あなた
Right.
は別の世界線なんでしょ？
Have you ever heard of Dr. Nagabachi's paper?
中鉢？
The guy who sought asylum in
それって
Russia?
ロシアに亡命した？
そうだ
That's right.
例の論文
To look at it and calling it a paper is being way too
と
kind.
ても論文と言えるものではなかったわ。
あれは
I think it's an inferior
コピー
copy.
だと俺は考え
There's
る
another version.
オリジナルが
original.
別に存在するんだ
一体何の
What are you
話？
talking about?
ドクター
Dr. Nakabachi's real name is Shoichi Makise. He is Kurisu's real father.
実の父だ
I thought back to what I saw that day.
私も考えてみた
I've also been thinking about whether it's possible to create a time machine.
かどうか。読んで。
Read this. I want your opinion,
聞かせて
Dad.
ほしい。
It's not bad.
本当？
Really?
この論文は
I think maybe we could publish it under both our names.
いいと私は思って。
Don't publish this. I'll take it.
そういえば
When you think of it,
クリスが
remember her saying before she left Japan that she was going to see her dad. Was announcing a new theory, and she'd been given an invitation.
その招待状が来たって。
That day, Nagabachi had stolen Kurisu's paper. After he'd gone to Russia, he published his own paper. I hadn't seen it myself. Whenever I thought about it, I always thought about what I'd seen that day. It happened right after, so I'd been avoiding it. I heard the professors at school talking about it. So terrible that it had become something of a running gag. But if it was just a bad copy of an original, what had been published was just Nagabachi's own reinterpretation of Kurisu's theory. An original still existed somewhere else. That's right. If Kurisu had written in the original theory, it had to be better than that. She'd actually succeeded in making the time leap machine.
それじゃあ
And you mean someone found out about this paper and is trying to get the theory needed to make a working time machine out of Kurisu's brain?
取り出そうとしてるってこと？第三次世界大戦が
The cause of the Third World War was the intensification of the race for the time machine between the EU and Russia.
そこにアメリカ
Then America started to get involved, and it got completely out of hand.
まさに
Things are proceeding exactly as history said they would. Those people had attacked the lab in the last world line. Tennoji had said they weren't Japanese, but they were military. The military wanted Kurisu's time machine theory. But explain why they chose to download her memories into Kagari's mind. I'm worried about Kagari. We'll do what we can. It bothers me that I can't do anything. Not much different from me. Don't say that. You're much stronger than me. I'm not that great. You always think I'm a lot better than I really am. Thank you. Do the best I can to live up to the person you think I am. Thank you. You really are strong. Amadeus would never talk about something that it didn't want. Amadeus would never talk about something that it didn't want to talk about. But what about a human? There were truth scrums and torture methods. A human could be forced to talk, maybe. Maybe they'd done that to Kagari. Of course, this was just a guess. If it was a military that had tried to kidnap Kagari, it was quite possible.
記憶のデータを
Moving memory data into her brain, huh?
可能なんだろう
Possible, right?
今の技
Even
術
with modern technology.
クリスはそれを
Lisa succeeded in it, and she said it was an application of her own
クリスが
research.
研究していたことの応用だと言っていた
ええ、そうね。可能よ。
Yeah, that's right, it's possible.
それに
And that's what Amadeus was originally created to do.
そのために作られたものなんだし。
Medical applications, was it? Eskinen had talked about it at the seminar, and Maho had This word line Amadeus had been shut down, and the seminar never happened, though. Maho gave me the same explanation I had heard before. I was right, and memory data transplants were theoretically possible. Lisa's time leap machine is another application of this. Of course, both of them were intended to move the memories back into the original person's head. Lisa had said that even that was dangerous. Then, what would happen if you tried to move them to another person's head? I don't think it would be as simple as copying them to a hard drive on a PC with a different OS. We don't even know how much capacity the human brain has. In terms of... Sorry, what the fuck is up with that at the beginning? There's like... Was that an error? In terms of strict storage capacity, it should easily have enough room to store the memories of two 20-year-old girls. I once told me that the brain's storage capacity was 3.24 terabytes. Problem goes beyond that. Like you said, still not even at the point of successfully downloading memories back into the original brain. You tried to copy those memories into someone else's brain. It caused serious inconsistency problems. In fact, we're seeing those errors start to happen right now. What will happen to Kagari if we don't do anything? Did you turn into Kurisu Makise? Memories and personality are different things. Memories are controlled by the hippocampus and cerebral cortex. Personality is constructed by the prefrontal cortex. Functions of the two are intricately connected. When parts of the brain had different functions, but they weren't completely independent. Memories probably played a large role in forming your personality. Mix of the two set of memories is probably putting a lot of stress on her brain. If we don't do something, it could cause her entire personality to disintegrate. Zha slams her fist into her knees in frustration. Some way to stop it? The only way is to remove Kurisu's memories from Kagari's mind. Can you do it? I can analyze the data in her brain, yes, but how many years away that is, I don't know. Zha's fist was clenched so tightly I could almost hear the sound. Guess she was blaming herself for letting Kagari run away. There was a way. It would be to overwrite her past memories again. Overwrite her memories? I don't think whoever altered her memories intended to leave her original ones. Man had been right. Getting two sets of memories in one mind was just asking for problems. It means that the experiments they'd done in her had resulted in a different outcome than they intended. In a sense, they had failed. So if we were able to overwrite her memories once more, with proper equipment, it might fix her. We don't have that memory data. We just have to hope they made backups. What about the equipment? It would be great if we could just find it somewhere, but... if it doesn't exist, we can make it. Not that easy. Kurisu made it, right? Oh, right. Had to work similarly to the time leap machine. Means I can... No. I will make it too. I'd be able to help with that. Question is, where to find her memory data, though? Just have to find it somehow. Adu time! But there simply wasn't enough information. All we knew was that it was a non-Japanese Western military. That information wasn't solid either. Anyone had the key was the woman in the motorcycle suit. Thought of a name and quickly brushed it from my mind. Any good ideas? None. It wasn't Yuki Amane. It couldn't be. Talked late into the night trying to come up with a way to find out who had done the experiments on Kagari. Even though we spent a lot of time on it, none of us had any good ideas. Happy Maho. I can't believe it. No, but it's true, isn't it? On the train back, Maho Hyajo was having trouble controlling her excitement. Two girls who said they came from the future. Motaro Kabe's story about the time loop machine. Only she'd never believe them. Kurisu Makise's mind had made these things possible, she could accept them. Kurisu was a genius, she just might be capable of it. Maho, Kurisu seemed capable of anything. Most of all, seen it for herself. On the way back from the lab, Susan had taken her to the top of the radio building, showed her a real time machine. It was night, and she didn't have a lot of time to look at it closely, but she could tell at a glance that it wasn't made with modern technology. Honestly, she wanted to start work on making another one tomorrow. No, right now even. She had something to do first. The time loop machine that Kurisu had made. She needed to make an improved version. It meant she was going to be practically living at Akabe's lab for a while. She decided to get what she needed from the office in Wako City. Hello, new CG. From outside the building, she could hear that the lights were still on despite the late hour.
Maho!
As soon as she got inside, Dr. Luskinen rushed over, his face pale. What happened here? The room had clearly been ransacked. Plus, the place barely had anything down there to begin with, so with a quick glance, it was hard to see what changed. Maho and Dr. Luskinen's desks had clearly been searched. Doors had been locked, but the locks had been broken and the contents spilled out. The rays hadn't brought much of anything, fortunately, and so she'd escaped with very little damage. Her drawers had been dumped out too. What happened here? Someone broke in. A thief? It was like this when I got here. It might be espionage. An empty office like this? Wouldn't it make more sense to hit the Viking Institute next door? Only a few people even knew this office existed to begin with. Suddenly Okabe's words began to take on a new meaning for her. Did this have something to do with what he said? The secret war over the time machine already beginning. Anyway, Maho, I wanted you to see if anything's been stolen from your things. Okay. Well, is anything taken? No, nothing of mine. Checked the desk and the doors and couldn't find a single thing missing. What about you two? I don't even seem to have lost anything either. I looked at my computer, but I don't see any trace of access by a third party. Are sure nothing was stolen? Yes. Come to think about it, Maho, what about your laptop? That's stolen? No, I left that at the hotel. Should be fine. I see. I hope you're right. What do we do? Call the police? Nothing was stolen. It might not do us any good to make a fuss. You're right. Maybe we should just wait and see what happens. I wasn't sure that was a good idea, but she could understand that going to the police would be a big hassle. Especially since they weren't Japanese to begin with. More than anything, Dr. Luskinen probably didn't want to lose time that could be spent on research. Same was true of Maho too. Actually, Professor, I need a favor. Luskinen agreed to give her a vacation much more readily than she expected. My baby coming to the office over New Year's had paid off. Now she'd been able to focus on the time loop machine. When she got back to her hotel room, she quickly got her things ready. She wasn't checking out of the hotel, but she needed clothes and other things so she could stay at the lab for a while. Okay. The last thing I need is... Once she finished packing her bag, she grabbed another bag that was placed next to it. The laptop and a portable hard drive that she got from Kurisu's mother after her death. She tried many times to crack the password, but never managed to succeed. She knew that she wouldn't have time to do anything with it, but she still didn't want to leave it here. That's right. Wasn't he... Made one last check of her things and got ready to leave the room, an idea came to her. Not a bad idea if I do say so myself. Maybe this is what Khaleesi wanted. She shook her head and chased the idea from her mind. Khaleesi would get mad at her. Life and death were like a binary of 0 and 1. It'd be one or the other. There was no will that existed after that death. It existed at all. It existed inside the brain. Okabe! 7 days passed and I still had no idea who had planted the memories in Kagede's head. I went all the way out to talk to the priest who found her and even questioned the locals in the surrounding area, but I had no luck. Suza seemed to be doing her own research. She hadn't been back to the lab since then. She was in touch with Dado at regular intervals, so I didn't think she was in danger. I asked Tenoji and Moeka again, but neither of them seemed to have any luck. In this world line, the lab hadn't even been attacked. It meant they might be up to something. Even if they were, I had no way of even imagining what it was. But I was sure that someone had kidnapped the young Kagedi Shina and experimented on her, and only recently had she escaped. They had to be planning something, and I was sure it was bad. We didn't have time to wait for them to act. Without any clues, there was nothing we could do. My mind kept going in circles, and kept getting more frustrated and nervous with any minute. Sorry to make you do all this for me, Maho. No, it's almost done. And I'm doing it for me, too. I staggered out of the development room, sank into the sofa, and smiled sleepily. There were dark spots under her eyes. For the last few days, she'd been working on the device without any sleep. Her work needed to pay off soon, as fast as possible. Anyway, I never would have come up with the idea of using a cell phone. And even if I had, I never would have actually tried it. When you're talking on a cell phone, you always need to put it up to your temples, you know? That's where the frontal and temporal lobes are. Consider that the hippocampal gyrus in the temporal lobe is where memories are stored. It makes sense, I think. Question is how we compress the memories, isn't it? I'm working day and night to make that happen. Sorry, Daru. And you absolutely insisted that I not let them find out that I'm hacking in from this lab. It's extra hard. Got other work to do too, you know. To compress the memories, we need CERN's LHC no matter what. That one took a lot of thought. We made an enemy out of CERN. That tragedy I'd gone through before would repeat. The main reason that CERN had attacked us was the demos we'd sent in the past. If they weren't for that, they probably wouldn't have bothered. Since we were sending demos, CERN would probably never even detect us. Probably. Fortunately, Suzuha had the IBM 5100 that we needed for the hack. Things were coming together better than I expected. You know, Okarin. He's almost a completely different person now. You're right. And not at Adaru. For the past few days, more of Kadisha's memories have been invading Kagede's mind. Lately, she even started discussing complex technical subjects with Maho. She's acting just like Kadisha used to when she lived in America. Thus, Maho seemed put off, but she eventually adapted. Maho probably wanted to get details about the device from Kadisha, so it seemed to be helping. You know, even after seeing the time machine, I still can't believe you made a time loop machine in a lab like this. The idea of digitizing human memories and sending them to the past is an amazing one. You're brilliant, Maho. Say the exact same thing to you. You're a genius, and in the end, I'm just Salieri. Watching the two of them, it was easy to fool myself into thinking that was Maho and Karisu talking. Kagari. Alright, I wanted to ask about Amadeus. What happened to the project? Fortunately, it was shut down. Oh god. Then why? Dr. Leskinen decided to do that? No. As I said, the orders came from higher up. But it was going so well.
私、今。
君はかがり。
Kagari.
椎名
Kagari Shina. Right?
椎名かがり。そう。私は椎名かがり。私は。
Kagari suddenly put her hands up to her head, afraid.
でも、それじゃあ、これは。この頭の中にある記憶は何？
それはマキセクリ
The
ス
Kurisu Makise's memory is not yours.
君の記憶じゃない。
そんなこと言われてもわかんないよ。
He was acting completely different now than she was just a moment ago with Maho. She used a voice like a child throwing a
だっ
tantrum.
て、私にとっては、私の記憶でしかないんだもん。マユリママたちとの記憶も、子供の頃のパパとの記憶も、アメリカの大学での出来事も、全部、私の中にあるんだもん。どれが本当で、どれか嘘かなんて、私、わかんないよ。
Words turned to sobs. I understand how she felt. From a perspective, it was all real. Whenever it was fake, it was easy to tell her to get a hold of herself. It wasn't that easy for her to actually do it. Remembered what Karisu had said when she'd finished the time leap machine. That you could never put your memories inside someone else's mind. It destroyed their personality. But if, just if, you were to leave Kagari like this, what would happen? The chance that her own memories would disappear and only Karisu's would remain. What happened? Who would the person in front of me become? Would it be Kagari? Would it be Karisu? It was Karisu. That wasn't true. It was impossible. I didn't even think about it. The more I thought, the more I felt a horrible idea tugging at my mind, no matter how much I tried to ignore it.
私、どうしたらいいの？助けて。ママ、パパ。
It would have been great if Mayuri was around. Unfortunately, both she and Lukiko had gone to school. So then we were worried about Kagari and had told me to contact them if anything came up. That didn't mean I could rely on them all the time. Why not go for a walk to get your mind off things?
そうね。
Right.
人間じっ
You
と
must
して
have a
る
tendency
人
to
は
overthink things when they're
余計
sitting
なこと考
still.
えちゃうものよ。
Might be better to move around a
少
little.
しくらい体を動かした方がいいかもしれないわね。
Right, Okarin. Take care of Kagari-tan.
わかった。
Two of us walked out to Central Street together. We didn't really have anything to do. The outside must have made her feel a little better because Kagari was starting to calm down.
その、
So,
どこか行
is
き
there
たいとこ
someplace you'd like to go?
あるかな。
どこでも
I
い
can
い
go
の？
anywhere I want to?
ああ、
Yeah,
君の行きたい
anywhere you
ところ
want.
に。
それじゃあ、
Take me somewhere you
クリ
went
スさんと
with
行ったと
Kirisu.
ころに連れてってほしい。
え？
オカリンさんが
Take me someplace you
ク
went
リ
with
スさんと歩
Kirisu.
いたことのあ
カリン
る場所に連れて行って。
Someplace I'd been with Kurisu. Where would that be? Doing laundry in the neighborhood? Owen Park? Yuden Sambo? I hadn't spent a lot of time with her at fun or romantic places. Spent a lot of time with her, but most of it had disappeared into many different world lines. Gone through that time again and again. I'd gone through that time again and again. Most of it had been spent arguing and working with her at the lab. We'd never spent any time going places to have fun. We'd never made it to Emori
オカリン
either.
さんがクリスさんと
Where did you first meet Kurisu? Okarin?
初めて
Where we first met?
私、
That's where I want to
そこ
go.
に行きたい。
Place where Kurisu and I had met. It was...
ここが
This it? Brightly colored building in front of Akihabara Station. Radio building. This is where it started. This is where everything had begun. On that day, a time machine appeared on the roof of the building. After that, when I met Kurisu, I could still remember it. Challenging look in her eyes. Looking back, I may had already fallen in love with her then. Even though this was the place I'd met her, this was also the place where I'd... And this image again that I have managed to avoid for so long.
オカリンさん、どうしたの？
What's wrong? Sorry.
すまない。
I've been so busy with Kagari that I started to think I was getting a little better, but maybe I wasn't.
汗す
I'm
ごい
really sweating. I'm sorry.
もし
Is
か
this
して
my fault?
私のせい
いや、
No,
そうじゃないんだ。
that's not it. It's just...
ただ、
Whenever I came here, I couldn't help but remember what happened that day. But
行こう。
let's go.
いいの
You sure?
具合
You're not feeling good, are you?
大丈夫だ。
I'm fine. I couldn't just stand out of here forever. Couldn't keep my only daughter and the others worrying forever. I need to get over it at some point then.
わかったそれじゃ
Right, let's go. Something soft touched my hand. Kagari was holding my hand tightly in hers.
ありがとう。
Thank you. Kagari led me down the bustling street towards the radio building. My knees felt like they were about to give out any second. Even after I had gone inside, I was still doing better than I had thought I would. I didn't feel like climbing the stairs where it had happened. I took the elevator to the roof. Ferris, aka Rumiho Akiha, had carefully locked the door to the roof so that no one who wasn't authorized could enter. I'd been given a key too, but today was the first time I was able to use it. The thing I saw after coming onto the roof was a strangely shaped object, the time machine. Wow, I remember this. I came here in this thing.
私これに乗ってきたんだよ
Katie happily ran up to the time machine. Right after she'd separated from Suzuha that she'd lost some memories. I remembered going from the future to this place in 1975.
初めてこのビル
First thing I came outside, the first time I came outside here, I was amazed at how pretty the sky was. Fortunately, it wasn't very pretty right now. Kagari spoke as if there was an endless blue sky stretching out in front of us.
私
I didn't want to leave Mommy.
ママと別れるのが嫌で
I stayed inside the machine and
ずっとあ
cried.
のマシンの中で泣い
Missed
て
it
た
so much.
ママに会いそんなことじゃダメ
Suzuha
だ
told me that I had to
いつ
stop
までも
crying.
泣くんじゃないって
I couldn't be like that anymore.
鈴葉お姉ちゃんに
But I was still so
そんな時
sad.
に
And then the
開い
hatch
たハッチの
opened,
外に見えた
and I
の
saw
が
the blue sky.
青い空だったの
2036年の
And 2036 isn't
青
blue?
くないのか。
Yeah,
戦争
the war made it all
の
black and dark.
ずっ
And
と
it wouldn't let
暗く
me
て
go outside
暗い
very
空
much.
それに
But 70s was right after the big
外にはな
economic
かなか出しても
growth
らえない
spurt.
し
Ecological concerns weren't as important as they are now. It was also when air pollution was a really big deal. The air probably wasn't as clean as it is now. If it seemed beautiful to her anyway, that must have meant the air in the future was really terrible.
オカリンさんは
Karin,
ここでクリスさん
is
と
this where you
初
first
め
met
て会ったの
Kurisu?
いや、
No,
ここじゃ
this
ない。
isn't it. This is...
ここは。
お降
Or a drop hit my nose.
ってきちゃった
Started to rain. Yeah, you're right.
そうだな。
Right.
岡部か
生きてたか。
You're alive.
そっか
Right.
ここだとあん
God, I might run into you
た
here.
のこと忘れてた
何をしていたんだ。
What are you doing?
考え事
Thinking?
そうか。
Oh. Rain had been falling then, too. Knowing that either she or Mayuri were fated to die, she'd come here and look up at the sky like this.
すごい降ってき
What are you pouring? Okay, get inside!
たオカリンさん
What had she been thinking then? Had she entrusted her fate to another person? To me?
オカリンさんたらこの
Going to catch a cold! Hurry!
早くこっちに
Kagari dragged me inside away from the noise of the falling rain. Moments later, I found myself sitting there. It was being renovated and none of the stores were open. Lights were off too, and it made the place seem very gloomy.
びっくり
Ah, that really surprised me. That day after the rain, Kurisu and I had leaned up against each other and talked. It was also the place where
ここだよ。
It.
ここが
I met Kurisu.
俺とクリスが初めて会った場所だ。
Strictly speaking, this is where I first met her in the Beta World line. That day half a year ago.
さっき
What were you trying to tell me earlier?
さっきとはいつの
What are you talking about?
ほんの15分
About 15 minutes ago,
会見
before the
が始まる
conference started.
私に何
You
か
were trying to tell me something, right? You looked really sad.
楽しそうな顔をしてまるで
You looked like you were going to start crying any second.
それにすごく辛そうでしたどうして
Why?
私、
Have we met before?
前にあなたと会ったことありますか？
Thinking back, that was the beginning of everything. I wished I'd never met her. If only I had known this would be the result. If I'd never met her, I wouldn't have to feel this way.
オカリンさん、
Something soft touching my face.
かがり。
私が怖が
I
っ
used
て
to
い
do
る
this
と
whenever I was scared.
ママがよくこうしてくれたの。
ど
Why?
うして。
だって
You looked like you were going to start crying any
す
second.
ごく辛そうで、今にも泣き出
Like
し
you
そう
patted me on the
なの。
head again and again, as if I were a child.
あいつと
As well,
クリス
I first met Kurisu.
初めて会ったのはここだった。
ここって
Here on the landing?
この
あ、
Yeah.
最初の
You
印象
left a terrible first impression.
初めて会ったっていう
First time she met me.
上から目線
She
で
was
扉に
arrogant.
つけてくるわ
Spent a long time glaring at
可
me.
愛さのかけらもなかった。
Not cute at all.
もっとも
Of course, she probably
どう
felt
だろう
the same
そう
way
思っ
about
てた
me.
だろうけどな。
At the time, I was rambling about nonsense like organization
で
agents.
も
But
それでも
you still ended up
ク
being
リスさん
someone you
は
cared about.
オカリンさんにとって大切。
あ、
That's right. That was in the Alpha World line, though. Right after I'd met Kurisu in this one sheet.
私の顔って
Her face looks a lot like
クリ
Marcuse's.
スさんによく似てるんだよね。
どうしてそ
How
れ。
did you know?
先
Maho told me so.
真帆さんから聞いたの。それで
So I looked it up on the
調べて
internet,
みたんだけど、
and I was
自
amazed.
分でもびっくりするくらい似てた。そんな人の記
Maybe
憶
it's fate
が
that her memories are
私
inside
の
me.
中にあるなんて、それも
Fate.
運命なのか
It
な
always
っ
was.
て。
Fate laughed at us. It toyed with us.
ね
Hey,
え、もしも
just hypothetically. Up a vein ran down Kagedi's hair and hit the floor.
もしもね、
If I were to lose my memories as Kagedi Shina, and they were all replaced with the memories of Kurisu Marcuse,
そしたら
would I turn into Kurisu
私は
Marcuse?
マキセクリスになっちゃうのかな。
そう簡単にいくも
Not
のじゃ
that
ない
simple.
でも
But what if it
もしもだ
were?
よ、
If that
もしも
happened,
そうなるなら
would you be happy?
オカリンさんは嬉しい。私が
If I became Kurisu,
クリスさんに
would
な
it
っ
make
た
you
ら
happy?
オカリンさんは嬉
The
し
voice
い。
of the demon I tried so many times to ignore.
俺は
I didn't want that. Or did I?
でも私は
But I
やっぱ
wouldn't
り
like that though.
嫌だな。
The dark vein struck the floor.
このまま
I don't want to
自
disappear,
分が
not knowing why I was ever
生
alive,
きたのかもわからないまま
not being of any use to anybody.
必要とされないまま消えちゃうなんて。
かがり。
私ど
What's going to happen to me?
うなっちゃうのかな。
I...
私は
Baby was shaking a little. It wasn't just because of the cord.
いや、
Never did figure out what she was apologizing
この
for.
ままじゃ風邪をひく。
Going to catch a cold.
そろそろ帰
Let's
ろ
go home.
とにかく上がってくだ
Just
さい。
come in. And I went into look at girl's room. It really did look like a girl's room.
うわあ、二人とも
Hi, you're both soaked. You better hurry and
着替え
change.
なきゃ。
The Bashi Shrine was closer to the radio building than the lab. I decided to bring Kagadi there. Maybe had sent me a message on the way, so I had her come here first. Yeah, that Kagadi needed mommy, Mayuri right now more than she needed me.
ママ、
Just like I thought, the second she saw Mayuri's face, she relaxed a little.
寒かった
It's
で
been
しょ。
so cold, right?
お風呂沸かしてきます
I'll
ね。
get a bath ready. The Gogo handed us towels to wipe away the rain, and ran out of the room to start the bath.
お風呂、ママと
I want to take a bath with you,
一緒がいい。
mommy.
もよし、
Hey, Yushi? Yeah, okay.
いいよ。
But what were you doing, Okarin?
でも、オカリンはどうする？
いや、
Oh, I'm
俺は
fine.
いい。
You guys can go first.
かがりを先に入れてやってくれ。
あ
Hey,
りがとう。
thanks. Make sure you change so you don't catch a cold, okay?
着替えだけでも をしてね。
I'll work something out. You make it borrow Lucago's father's clothes. As I got up to leave the room.
かがりちゃんどうしたの？
What's wrong,
かがり
Kagari?
ちゃん。
Something was wrong with Kagari. Looking at Mayuri's face, confused.
誰？
Who are you?
あなたは
Who are
誰？
you?
マユシーだよ。かがりちゃん。かがり。私の。
かがり。
違う。私は誰なの？私は。
Kagari tore out her hair and let loose a cry that sounded like it came from the pits of hell.
しっかりしろ、かがり。
It was like a puppet whose strings had been cut. All the strength left the body and she fell forward. By the time I left Lucago's house, the rain had stopped. We waited for a while after that, but Kagari showed no signs of waking up. It looked peaceful as she was sleeping, so I decided to leave her to Mayuri and Lucago and head back to the lab. According to the two of them, she'd gotten confused several times in the past. Never like this. We might have underestimated how dangerous the situation really was. Rain was probably under a lot of stress already. We needed a way to deal with this, and now. But for that... When I just opened the door, I heard Daru and Maho yelling. Really? And I said without even taking the time to remove my shoes. Perfect timing. Pepe, you're soaked. Doesn't matter. Did you guys pull it off? They gave me a thumbs up. Nice work, Daru. I'm a super hacker. This is nothing. I could say that, but I knew exactly how much talent and effort it took to hack Sun. The average hacker couldn't do it. The name Super Hacker wasn't just for show. Where are you, Hyajo? Were you successful too? I didn't get at my job too, you know. I stuck her thumb up just like Daru had. Wow. Well, this is all thanks to the information you and Kagari gave me. In that sense, we were lucky that she had Chris's memories. No, you were the one who did the work. Thanks. I'll just accept the compliment. Now the question is whether it works. The only way to find out is to try it. You're right. I want 3 trips to Kitchen Gyro. The thing. Anyway, everything was ready. All that was left was to find out who they were. That was still the biggest problem. Okay. I'm going to get some rest. I'm pretty tired. Another ringing phone cut her off. Jeez, who is it? I'm about to go to sleep. Yes, hello. Mother to herself, she took the phone to the back of the development room. So, what's Kagari-tan doing? About that. As I spoke, the my message arrived. Kagari woke up. She's calmed down. A small sigh of relief and sent back an answer. Got it. Sorry. Can you look after her for a while? I'll contact you if I need you. It's not good, actually.
あまり良くない。
We got who my Yuri was today.
今日なんて、マユリのことすらわからなくなった。
マジで
Seriously?
それだけじゃない。
Not all.
その後、
Right after that,
ひどい頭痛
started
を訴
complaining
えて
about a horrible headache.
意識を
passed
失っ
out.
た。
それまずくない
That's bad. That's bad, isn't it?
まずいな。
It is. We need to do
なんとか
something.
しないと。
Unless we knew who we were up against, there was nothing we could do.
本当ですか？
You sure? Then I exchanged glances at the silent voice from the development room.
マホタンどうしたん
What's wrong?
何かあったのか？
Something happened? When we looked inside, Maho turned around in a state of shock.
荒らされたって
Someone ransacked
私
my
の
hotel
借り
room.
てたホテルの部屋。
I think that's a good place to stop. Because if I remember the structure of the other ward line, this was when a lot of shit started happening. So I feel like if we stop now, it'll be a good point to do so. Otherwise, I won't find a good place to stop later. And it's pretty late. It's 1 o'clock. It was a long day for me, right? I had to do a lot of planning and stuff. Okay. Regardless. Oh god, this is going places that I don't know if I'd like or not. And it's interesting because it's okay. The other one definitely centered around Yuki a lot more. This one focuses on Kagari. Because Yuki has shown up like not at all, and in the other one, Kagari didn't show up at all at like any point in time. I guess I already explained this in the last part, but we'll call her Kana. When I'm talking about the Kana Kagari, I'm calling her Kagari. When I'm talking about the Yuki Kagari, I'm talking about Yuki, because Yuki's not in this overarching branch of things, you know. But oh man, this is getting interesting, and I definitely want to see what it goes. But I feel like if I stop now, I might be able to get up early enough, and who knows, maybe we could stream a bit of it tomorrow morning if I get up early enough. That's a big if. 1 a.m. right now, and I go into work at 4 p.m. So I'd have to wake up around like 9 o'clock. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next. Have a good one. Bye.